Everybody's arrived. Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. We are here for the Gamblers, our Traveler Pirates of Drinax campaign, and it is wonderful and lovely to see you all here. I hope you are doing well. I have things to talk to you about, audience, and I will do so in a second. But the first I want to say is thank you for being here. You being here is what enables us to do this show. Your audience participation, your support is all what makes this work. Thank you. This is our 6th season of The Gamblers, and we would not be here without you. So, first things first, I would like to say, if you would like to support us, the best thing you can do is just be here in person. Da, 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 da. You can either be here live or in Memorex, and if you leave exciting messages on Memorex, i.e. YouTube, I'll read them out. And thank you. You can also tell your friends and also your enemies that we are live, and, all of that is good as well. Also, if you would like to, you can give tips and bits, and all those tips and bits will go to support the players and make sure that they get paid. We also have a Patreon. By the way, if you leave a message for the tips and bits, I will read that out at the end of the show. We also have a Patreon, and that Patreon is at Academic Foxhole, and that Patreon goes and just helps support the cast as well. It's like $3, and you might, every once, when I come up with a cool bit of like a cool bit of like handout stuff, I'll just drop it in there for you all, but mostly almost nothing is, what's the word? Gate-walled. Gate-walled, that's not the word.
I think I like that. Paywall, gate-kept.
Paywalled. Nothing is gate-kept behind mostly nothing is gate-kept behind a paywall, but if I come up with some kind of props or whatever, I might put that in there. But generally speaking, it's just there
Paywalled.
to go and help. Paywalled, yeah.
Both.
To support the cast. Now, we also have a very special sponsor tier, and that sponsor tier is $200 a month. And there are only 4 available, and that will pay for the players, not me, for 1 week for 1 show. And if you are one of our sponsors, you get a special shout out, which I'm going to do right now, a special spot in our credits, and also a radio ad that I will play for you. And we have one sponsor, and that is Will and TW, who is not only our sponsor, but also our note taker. And I love that. I can't say more good things about Willen. Willen is a wonderful human being. So, thank you for all that support, and if you would like to support us, please do. We also have one more thing that you can do if you are interested, and that is we have a merch store, as it turns out.
What do we have in that merch store?
Oh, that's a weird question that you would ask. It turns out, right now, live, at this moment, I am revealing the newest collection, which is I don't know if you know this, it's because of the work of the tagonists of the Gamblers. They have created a brand new naval force. I mean, the Drinax has its Royal Navy of like ships, not many, but they do now have a second, that's the home defense, right? That's the Royal Navy. But, in order to have a navy, you need to have more than 1 ship. And as of this moment, our antagonists have an external navy with more than 1 ship. The Gambler, the flagship, and also the Elaine, and also the Camlin Viper. Which means... And the Camlin Viper?
And... Oh, never mind. Don't. Oh, yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, thank you. The Walker.
The Walker,
Drinax Ranger.
Yep.
No, it was a Walker Hexus Ranger. That's what it was. No, but it was there was another one, but it's not, I don't think it's actually like officially a part of anything for reasons.
Not yet. I mean, the thing is, you can always bring it on with you. It just takes up space. That's all.
Well, no, I'm saying there's another ship with a name, but it would be very silly if we were to put it into our manifest,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Sounds like, right, exactly.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. Now, the investiture has not happened officially yet, so it is not official. But when you have a new force, you also clearly have to have uniforms. And if you've ever been in the military, as I have, there are many different types of uniforms, including your physical training uniform, which you might wear when you are lounging in jump space on your ship. And so live currently on Fourth Wall is the ship's uniform, the lounging ship's uniform, the physical fitness uniform of the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Force that I have created. And it consists of, I spent a little bit too much time thinking about exactly how this uniform works and what are the pieces and what is involved in that. But we do have this right now. And I'm going to tell you, at the moment, I normally wear my my royal clothing, but I'm currently wearing one of the uniforms, and I will, during the break, I will swap over to the other one of the uniforms.
In-canon uniforms for just lounging around on the ship.
Yes, these are in-canon uniforms. So,
I have to go get into my cozies. I'll be back.
You do have, and these are actually really quite cozy. So currently I'm wearing the outers, which is the ship's jacket. And the ship's jacket, anyone in the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Force will wear this jacket, which of course has the crest of the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Force, made by yours truly, and of course the planet that you either is the one that your ship is berthed at, or your home planet, if Drinax. So this one here is the Drinax ship jacket, but I also have an Asim jacket, just in case somebody here might be from Asim and might want it.
That's right.
And
for all you Asimans out there.
All you Asimans. Now,
we Asiman you.
You have to wear a pair of ship's joggers, of course, and those ship's joggers are going to be specific to the ship you're stationed on. So, for example,
here, the whole thing.
Well, you can't see them. There we go. Woohoo! The TMSS Gambler, right here. If I were more.
Yeah.
Their Majesty's starship, the Gambler. And of course, this is your outers, but there is more, obviously. You have to have your...
Got it all!
What you wear underneath your joggers. Every ship has a very specific t-shirt that you would wear. It's your ship shirt that speaks to your... the ship that you are stationed on, and this is the shirt for the TMSS Gambler. Roll the dice. And, of course, I am crew on that ship. But, of course, if it's quite hot, you also should be wearing shorts, clearly.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's less.
Hey! I'm just getting naked. I think
more.
that's
that's
not against TOS, right?
No. I think they just changed it now, so you could actually be naked. Only in tabletop shows, though.
Nice. A nice set of black shorts with the crest of the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Force on it, so you can, you can do as you will.
Did you get the Drinaxian banana hammocks in yet?
No, I haven't got the Drinaxian banana hammocks in yet.
Okay, all right. Well, darn.
We also have
a
show
that off
new
next.
notebook, hard copy, so nice. With a little, you can take all of your notes because I take a lot of
looking
notes,
at you, looking at you, Willen.
Yeah. Because I need these, and we have a field mug, a nice enamel camp mug. So if you're in the field, like if you're going off to Thebes or Marduk and you get crash landed, you have a cup that will stand that, that impact. Lovely. Now, I will say, for the record, I do have a ship shirt and joggers for a different ship, but that ship is not official, does not exist, but I will be wearing them after the break. So we have exciting new merch, and all that merch is right now live. And my cast gets to pick something, and I'm going to give it to them as a present. And also my 2 mods will also, but I'll probably do a giveaway of a ship shirt during break. So be excited. And I should also just side note, that the Marduk season art is going to be sunsetted. That art's going to go away. The only thing I will keep around will probably, so the t-shirt and the poster is going to be gone, but I'll keep the notebook, because who doesn't want lots of notebooks? Right. I want them. But this is our new merch, and it's all in world, and I'm so excited about it because I needed new sweats. So that's why that's why I did it. 'Cause that's what I needed. But also, you know, Lindy and I have both agreed we really do enjoy in-character merch. That's in-world merch. It's a thing we love. So that's our new stuff, and we will. You can all see it, and I'm going to as a Patreon exclusive, once I get it, probably tonight or tomorrow. If you were ever in the Army, AR-670-1 is the manual, the regulation that covers the wear of the military uniform and your hair and everything that has to do with it. And I'm going to go and just make a version of that covers the ship uniform, the lounge wear, the cozy wear. That'll be like an in-character sort of couple of pages of their regulations talking about this uniform. So I'm going to do that. I'll just drop it off to my players. That's why I'm doing it. But also, if you're a member of the Patreon, I'll give you a copy of that PDF as well. I just have to, kit bash it together. So that is our exciting merch that is now out live as we speak, and it's quite warm and comfortable. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. And I think that is all of our pre-stuff, except for our players introducing themselves. Zanzibar says, of course Imbles would pick joggers for the uniform loungewear. I'm just saying, I have an Army physical fitness uniform, and it's basically t-shirt, shorts, and sweats. It's the same. It's just, it was in gray. But you can also get this shirt in heather gray. The shorts come in 3 different colors. But my players need to introduce themselves. My dearest players, could you, without further ado, say who you are and who you're playing, and then we will get into it. Let's start with Laugh, Love, Lindy. Lindy, Laugh, Love, who are you?
Hi, 'tis I, Laugh, Love, Lindy. I'm here and I'm excited to play. I will be playing Quint Vesper, the former Solomani spy, and now crew member on the Gambler. Was there another question there? I wasn't expecting to be first. Usually you ask us another question, so if not, that's fine. That's me.
No other questions. We got to go. We're a little short today. So, Greg, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. My name is Greg. I play Dr. Valentine Morrissey here on the Gamblers, and that's it. Let's get to playing.
Okay. Ari, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Ari, and I'm playing Terrica. They are unwillingly noble and an excellent pilot.
And if you are with us, good and dearest Cord, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Cord, or Mythematic. I'm playing the Corsair High Admiral Captain Baron Severence. I don't even know if those are all of his titles. Probably not. He is a renegade clone and a fake it till you make it noble. So he is making it up as he goes. But yeah, that's me. I'm excited to play today.
And I am troopersjp, and I will be the GM for the shenanigans. I think that's the best way to put it. I will be the GM for these shenanigans. So, let us set the scene a little bit before we pull back the curtains. So, our protagonists have traveled out and about, and what I'm going to tell you about right now is probably also going to tease some things that'll be happening in the future, but the Harlock, who is currently away, and Lord Severence, a Baron of, I don't think they've given you an official moon yet, but or an official territory, but that'll be after Drinax is reformed as the kingdom. But Admiral of the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Force, Corsair of the Trojan Reaches, and Knight of both the Vespexers and also the Floating Palace. And the Harlock arrived a few weeks ago and have been sort of doing politics. About 5 or so days ago, the Gambler arrived in system. And there has been quite a lot of shenanigans in those last 5 days. At this moment, and I want to bring up the exact day because I know that Willen is here, but also these things are important for various reasons that we'll talk about right now. I was going to say later, but no, actually, just right now. On the day of 158, our antagonists, Val was arrested. There was a number of people were arrested, actually. There were some arrests going on. There were a bunch of conversations. And in the process of all of this, Lord Rax, the Admiral of the Royal Navy, was stripped of his rank. And because he allowed Val, he basically extradited Val and Ruby, Val's father, kind of secretly, kind of quickly, without telling people, so that no one could stop this from happening. And nonetheless, people did stop it from happening. The Gambler itself immediately rushed out, everybody hopped into the ship, and they rushed off to try to go and stop the ship from jumping. It was a wild and slightly reckless race, and it took about 10 hours. So about midnight on day 158, finally, the Gambler caught up with the Florian Answer, which is one of the trade ships that goes back and forth between Asim and Drinax, the Floating Palace, and they rescued Val. It has been a very long day, full of tension, and it is about midnight. Our protagonists now have the long flight back to Drinax, about 10 hours. They do know that the former harbor master seems to have been deposed. There is now a new harbor master, Lord Abelard von Adler, who is new. Seems as if in the last 10 hours there has been some, what shall we say? There has been some shakeups in the power structure, what with the Admiral being charged with treason, that I suppose our crew will find out more about that when they get back to the Floating Palace. So, let us pull the curtain back, and just to do a little bit of a check-in, as it is about midnight on day 158, and the crew has got about a 10-hour flight back. And there's one other thing I wanted to say, because this is something that some people would definitely know, and is a tease for the next bit of special merch if I can get everything done in time. It is also, so I mentioned this last time, but Drinax has a 48-day year. It takes 48 days for Drinax to circle the sun. And 48 days is it's not many days, but the Drinaxian year,
and it's polar locked, right?
Yeah, it is tidal locked and solar locked. So it just kind of, so the days never change actually. But the Drinaxian year, it is, in case you want to know, it is the year 19,052, Drinaxian year, in case you were curious. Drinax has, they sort of, because everything's about sun and shadow, they sort of categorize their years as either odd years are sun years and even years are shadow years, or some people just call them, for slang, flip years. This is currently a shadow year, all year, and their years are divided up into 12, we would call them months, but They don't. They divide them up into 12 colors, and each color, of course, lasts for 4 days. And right now, 158 is Ebony 3,
Oh, that's so cool.
which, yeah, and Ebony 3 is black, and it's the color of hearth and shelter. And when you arrive back on Drinax, it will be Ebony 4, the last day of Ebony. The color that arrives after Ebony, which I'm just going to say because you all need to know this, is Argent or white, which is the color of deep mourning.
Wow.
And funerals tend to take place on Argent, on the color of Argent. After that, by the way, is the color, you'll have 4 days of Mahogany, which is the color of transitions in this life or the next, which also tends to be when you have your investitures and promotions. So you can expect within the next 4 days, funerals, because we have some to have, and then the 4 days after that, investitures, promotions, demotions, that sort of thing in the 4 days afterwards.
What was the year again? Willen's asking in chat. Oh, no, he deleted the line. Oh, well. What was the year again?
19,052.
19,052.
52. Because it's only a 48-day year, so you kind of get through a lot of years really quickly.
Yeah,
It has been 19,052 years since the founding of the Kingdom of Drinax. I did the math. I did quite a lot of math to get this all worked out, and I'll tell you more about it later.
Yay,
but
math.
oh no, it's something very exciting, but we'll get there. So as we sort of take this up, it is midnight. You all have been awake for a long time because you had a bit of an early morning. You all kind of got up at like 6 or so in the morning. It's been because Quint was arrested the day before. So it was a super early morning for a lot of people. So you've been up for, 18 hours maybe, I guess? Something like that, more or
something
less.
insane like that.
Yeah. So let's pull back the curtain when you have another 10 hours to fly back from here to the floating palace. Just kind of sounds like an all-nighter to me. Let us see. At this moment, if I recall correctly, Quint Vesper is in the pilot's chair, and Wesley is in engineering, and the rest of the crew have just returned with Val, who has been liberated. He's not being extradited to Asim because the order was given before you even left that the former admiral, Lord Rax, has dropped the assault charges. So there's currently no charges pending for Val. If they want to press charges for fraud, they can do so. But I don't know if they want to or not. We'll find out. Let me
That would be
give you this
hilarious.
space as our crew makes their way up to the bridge.
As we're headed up to the bridge, I think Terrica's stomach rumbles because we haven't actually they basically were down in the hold that whole time, except for the one time where they're up on the bridge and they had that weird interaction. And so they're gonna swing by the galley.
In the galley, you will notice that there has been something prepared in the food replicator. There is a bunch of salt, and also some bundles of sage have been replicated. They're just kind of sitting there waiting to be picked up right there in the galley.
Terrica will try and buzz for Evan.
You hear June's voice. I'm afraid there is no one. Evan is not on the ship. He
What?
left to go shopping for supplies some 12 hours ago.
Is anybody else missing from the ship?
Well, Kareen is currently missing from the ship, of
Yes.
course. The Harlock is currently missing from the ship. And the Harlock was on the ship and is no longer on the ship. That should be, I believe, everyone who is missing from the ship. Would you like some tea?
No. Send a message to Quintessa and ask her to find both the Harlock and Evan and make sure that they have room in my house for the night.
Oh, the Harlock left. Did not go on to the floating palace.
Where did the Harlock go?
Left. And then June apparates into the galley, because June was sort of by Quint on the bridge, but sort of apparates onto the galley. She did not disembark onto the floating palace.
Oh, teleported.
Well.
Please also send a message to Evan and give him my deepest apologies for this entire, and they like look at their watches, they like realize what time it is. They're like, for this entire thing, and give him the address of the Hill House so that he can apartment. You know what I'm trying to say, so that he can get there quickly.
I will send a. Well, I don't know if his communications, his personal communications will reach that far, but I will send a message to the port so they might perhaps try to contact him.
Was the Harlock disturbed when she left? Did she go of her own volition?
I believe so. I try not to surveil everyone. She was in her quarters, and then she was not in her quarters.
Thank you.
Of course. Would you like some tea?
No.
All right. If you would, and June sort of holds up her hands. Since I can't actually lift anything in this guise, could you bring that salt and that sage to Quint, please?
Sure. Terrica will just pick it up and like head up to the bridge.
Probably
On
just
their
like
way,
a
they're
bowl
gonna
of
like
salt with a couple sage bundles on top. Yeah.
like on their way, like is the Harlock's door? I assume the Harlock's door is closed, but like, and they're not trying to get into the Harlock's space. They're just trying to make sure the Harlock is okay. But is there any sign of scuffle around the door at all?
Nope.
Okay. Then they'll just
On the bridge. Val and also Severance, you go to the bridge directly, whereas Terrica went to the galley first, and there on the bridge is your pilot who is flying the ship. Well, one of your pilots. One of your,
Acting pilot.
acting pilot.
Classically trained.
Val would basically look into the bridge and then leave. He has no reason to be here.
Right.
He's on his way to his room.
Everything seems to be in order.
Yeah, great.
So that's Val.
Oh, is he on the ship?
He was, yes. I mean, yes, he was in here, but
Oh.
yes, he's probably off to his
That makes
quarters.
sense.
Yes, right.
We have detached and uncoupled, and I was going to turn us to Drinax.
Yes, of course, yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
I don't adjust. I was already headed towards Drinax. I just
I figured that's where we were going.
Yeah. That is correct.
Get some sounds for you.
June asked that I bring these to you.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes.
Oh, I think Terrica would have grabbed like protein bars as well, and they'll like include
Okay.
one of the protein bars for
Yeah.
for Quint.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to take over?
That would be great. Before you do that, and I will it's space. I'm not gonna hit anything immediately. I've already been on the way here. I'm just gonna let it autopilot for a minute. And
What are
take
you
the
doing?
Sage.
Whoa! Don't let go of the wheel like that. You're gonna run into a star.
Oh
I have zero idea if that's true.
Or pirates.
Or pirates. That's true. We were
or-
also the invisible thing for a while.
Or space debris.
Right.
Usually you might want somebody on sensors, just keeping...
Just in case, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But I've checked everything. We've decoupled and we're good for a moment.
Right.
So I'm going to grab this sage out of the bowl. Could you reach in with your right hand, grab a good bit of this salt, and then throw it over your left shoulder?
Ooh. Them?
Yes,
Right on
yes,
me.
yes.
Okay, all right,
there,
good.
that. And I squint and I look real hard at you.
Terrica's just super confused. They're like, what is happening right now?
Then I pull out a little box of matches and I light the sage and I just waft it around.
What are you doing?
Terrica, I have a question for you. Do you feel anything right now?
Does Terrica feel anything psionically right now with all of this?
Oh, God, what is that?
So it's just some sage.
Out in the hallway, you all hear, I gotta get off this fucking ship!
I'm burning! My blood's boiling!
What are you hoping to sense, Terrica, as salt and sage are being thrown at you? Could you give me a sense of what you're looking for?
I think Terrica's just super
feel
confused right now.
different.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
even reaching
Waft.
out psionically. They're trying to process the fact that the Harlock just teleported off the ship for some reason, but also now the Harlock is a princess and they don't know if everybody has that information yet.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think
And so they're just super confused. This was not the interaction they were expecting to have happen with Salt and Sage. Not that they really had an idea of what was going to happen with Salt and Sage in the first place. So yeah,
Well,
this
you
is more
feel
of just a
burning.
personal feeling.
You feel like a burning? You feel like evil demons are rolling into... No, you don't. Everything is fine.
Oh, no. Okay. So then I think Terrica just kind of shrugs and is like,
Right.
tired?
I see Severence do. I just put out the sage. I'm gonna smudge the rest of the ship later, but for now, while he's standing right here, I just put it out. Terrica, I don't know how to tell you this, but
okay.
there is a serious issue at hand, and I think we might need some holy water. You are either haunted and or possessed by the ghost of your dead mother.
Haunted. Haunted. I know. I need to.
Major back in here.
What? No, Val doesn't. I've been seeing her ever since she
Okay.
passed.
Well, it's not.
Well.
It's
Ever since she
pretty-
passed 16 hours ago.
It's like 4 days ago.
Like,
Four
oh!
days.
Got a lot of data.
4 days ago.
But really, only 2 sleeps. One sleep. I don't know. We haven't
I
had a
don't
whole
know
lot
how
of
much
sleep.
you actually have
I don't
slept
know
at
what-
all. That's a whole...
What is
Quint's
time?
got no more sleep.
Question.
There's not been a lot of sleep,
Yeah.
is all I'm saying
Yeah.
in these couple of days.
We're antagonists. We don't need sleep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Antagonists drink
Antagonists
caffeine,
don't need
unhealthy amounts
sleep.
of stimulants.
Joy.
Well, these are old Solomoni traditions to try to expel the ghosts from you, the salt over the shoulder, the stage, evil spirits and whatnot. And well, it doesn't seem to be working, so it must be a real big haunting.
Erica, have you not kicked the drugs?
I have not.
No, it's not
Severance,
the drugs
I
that
had
looked
drugs
different.
one time. I mean, other than the time they just got into the ship for fun. But like, I've had drugs
I don't
one
know.
time.
Okay, I know. Sometimes all it takes is one.
Well, I haven't touched them since then, and I'm not going to.
Okay, all right. I believe you.
Thank
No,
you.
it is definitely a possession. I sensed it.
Quint, have you dabbled into the drugs?
No. I am very much against performance enhancers and drugs.
Yeah, no, he's right. I've been seeing Lady Hill.
I sensed a ghostly presence around you. And so did June. Did you maybe invite the spirit of your mother in, or any weird essence?
Our ship is haunted. Is that what I'm hearing right now?
Yes, our ship is haunted. That's why I have the sage and the salt.
I still am not entirely sure why you have those things, but...
Because they are supposed to ward off ghosts and evil spirits. You're making a face, Terrica. Did something jog your memory?
No, it's the sage, I bet. Is it the sage?
At this moment, June passes through the wall of the bridge, across the bridge, and through the wall of the other bridge.
What the hell? Wait a second. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody saw that, right?
No, that's just a hologram. That's different. A hologram.
June. June's always been here.
It's not dead. She's not dead. Well, that form of her is not dead, so it's different.
Well, when Sue became corporeal?
Yes, I remember this.
I'm not judging, by the way. I'm not even here, really. I actually don't even need to be here. If you like, I should just go talk to Val about...
No, you can stay if you want. Or you can go. You can do whatever you want.
Just don't know we just don't know what is going on between you two right now, and it's.
I don't know how to talk about it. Is what's happening.
I could sense that, and I would like to give you enough space where you and have the privacy where you can talk about whatever it is that you have to get off your chest or something. But anyway, I'm gonna go see what Val is up to.
Fine, get out, go.
Okay, well, when you say it like that, I don't need to, go when you're yelling me to get out. I was going to give you this space. You don't have to be so aggressive.
But just make up your mind. Oh,
my mind's made up.
He's so infuriating. Every time. It's just like, you love him and you hate him, both in the same moment, literally.
Take a deep breath.
I needed some way to empower Sue to create a distraction so I could get Val out. And I reached out psionically, and I don't know how, but Lady Hill was in Sue somehow.
Psionically?
Oh, shit.
So she was possessing Sue, and now she's possessing you.
I don't
Whatever.
I don't think it's not possession, because I can still control. It's not possession.
Okay, well, like a minor possession, like a carrier on of presence. Although June and I did have a talk, and if it is not dealt with, it would the presence would begin to grow, and then you might struggle maintaining your sense of self. So I think it is the early onset stages of possession, medically.
I'll have to.
Should it?
There has to
you
be
should
some
maybe
kind of way to.
meditate and like look in on your inner self and extract the essence that is growing. That's not yours. I was really
If
hoping
I'd-
the salt and sage would work.
Fair. If I do that, what happens to her?
I don't know. She doesn't take you over eventually, or make you fight to maintain your sense of self.
That's an old battle. I'm gonna thank you, Quint. You always just tell me how it is.
I try.
I appreciate it.
Now, did you want to take over, or do you want me to do it while you think about possession and, ruminate a bit?
Could you just give me a little time, and then I can come back and.
I'll see you in 2 hours then.
Yeah.
I'll sit back down, turn off the autopilot, and just go.
For the record, it is a good question. How did Lady Hill get inside of Sue? That's a weird question. How did that happen?
I think Terrica just figured it out. They have enough of the puzzle pieces, but I think they came to the wrong conclusion. Which is kind of the best worst part.
So, I believe that Severence was going to go and find Val, if I recall.
Yes, it was.
I will totally have the sage going again once Terrica leaves, just a little bit more, because I've got multiple bundles. This ship needs to be cleansed.
It's a big ship.
Apparently. I knock on the iris. Val.
Admiral?
Thank you. What are you, sorry, Doctor. What are you up to? What are you doing?
Strangely enough, I feel tired.
Right.
Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. They're talking about there's a ghost in the ship. I don't know if that's true. I don't believe them. I think they, as in both Terrica and Quint, are in the bridge talking about ghosts.
A good ghost or a bad ghost?
I don't know. They're smoking something and saying that there's ghosts in the ship. So I don't know how they're getting these drugs, or what is going on, or if they're mentally sound. But both of them are apparently flying. So I don't. Just letting you know.
This is a courtesy call from the Admiral to tell me that there are currently active drugs on the ship, and we may or may not be haunted by a ghost of questionable intent.
You didn't hear it from me.
I'm still tired. Thank God. I don't feel like staying up and dealing with any of this.
But yes, wonderful. I never mind. You keep resting. I will go. I'll figure this out myself. It's all. I'll figure it out. No, it's fine.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know. You need to rest. You should rest.
I really should. And he walks in.
And then I make my way back to the bridge. No.
I mean, Terrica's going to try and use those 2 hours to figure out what to do with Lady Hill, but beyond trying to make some sort of psionic connection, I don't know that they have any great ideas. Like, talk to the Harlock would be what they would have done in this position, but the Harlock has teleported. Oh, I know what they're gonna do, actually, eventually. But I think they'll take 2 hours to think about it and come up with this plan, and then they'll go back and take over the flying ship.
All right. So I just want to know if anybody else is going to be sleeping or whether or not you're all going to be doing a massive all-nighter. This is what I would like to know.
We should probably sleep. I will probably sleep as well at some point.
We'll
Now,
take a nap.
Val will like man sensors or stuff like that if that's required, but
Right.
he probably hasn't even thought about that. So he's just in his room right now.
Right. I think you should sleep, and then I will probably wait a handful of hours and then also probably sleep. He's probably had enough. Like, I'm not gonna wake him up and be like, it's your turn to wake up, but I'm just gonna
Yep.
go to bed and assume he's arousing out of bed. Don't correct me.
I would never.
Thank you. And then and then I'll just go to bed and hope that everyone got enough sleep. It's pretty lax, I feel like. Like, no one's
Yeah.
really giving any orders on the way back. We're the cool ship.
Sure.
I'm the
Right,
cool
cool ship.
admiral. Right.
Yeah. I kind of, so let me, I just want to double check. So what I'm hearing is that Val's going to get some sleep and so will not be completely underslept. Severance is going to get some sleep and so will not be completely underslept. Quint is going to get some sleep and so will not be completely underslept.
If Terrica looks exhausted,
I'm not doing the
will
drugs anymore. I'm
say-
perfectly sound. I'm not sleeping for days.
we'll split that last 8 hours into a 4-hour nap for Terrica and a 4-hour nap for Quint.
Terrica would go for that. They're not. They're not in the headspace where they usually just stay up all night right
And
now.
in the 4 hours of awakeness Quint would take the remaining sage stick and just quick run through the rest of the ship and smudge it. Sprinkle a little salt around Terrica's
The Greeks
Terrica
look
will-
at you.
room.
Terrica will wipe
Yeah.
up the ash when it's their turn to go like pilot.
And then we'll go disassociate and watch Crash Jones for a while. And by watch Crash Jones, I mean Crash Jones will be playing and Quint's going to be disassociating real hard.
It's probably going to be about an hour or two, and there's going to be like before, like 2 hours on the way back, there'll be like a call in the comms. Should I keep at the engine room, everybody?
Wesley, go get
Anyone?
some sleep. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please go get some sleep. Please.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, are
Hey,
you sure?
you did a really good job. It's time for you to rest.
Okay. And Wesley's going to go and, like, grab all of his stuff and head on up to the room that he shares with Quint. And it's going to sort of, like, hop in. And I don't think Quint's probably still flying at this point in time, right? And, like, saging, because I think Quint has the first shift.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
Terrica is pondering.
Oh, well then I don't think Terrica would have said anything because they would have been pondering.
then-
I thought this
then
was when
Quint would have been
Terrica
like,
was on the
Wesley, go
Well-
to bed.
Because you said it'd be about 2 hours of pondering, so it's probably right about the time
it was
when
in the-
Terrica's finished pondering.
Okay,
Oh, then Terrica would have said that.
there you go, yeah.
So he's gonna sort of hit he's gonna head over to the room, and he'll probably be asleep when Quint comes in. Although when
How
Quint
light of a
does come in,
sleeper is Wesley? Yeah.
he's a
Does
very
he wake
light
up?
sleeper, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
He'll
as
wake
if
up.
maybe, I don't know, he's had some trauma recently, and he has a hard time sleeping.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody
Although
got
he's-
flamed alive in front of him.
Yeah, just burned alive in front of him. But he's always been a bit of a light sleeper, as if he were just, a bit nervous about things. And so, of course, he wakes up the minute Quint gets there.
Quint would just say, as knowing that probably that Wesley's a light sleeper and wakes up like this, I'm just going to put on some Crash Jones.
You're putting on Crash Jones?
Yes. Is there an episode preference you have?
Oh. Marathon? Crash Jones and the Marathon Run?
All right. I should put it on.
That's a good one. That's one where they don't get to sleep for like a long time, because every time they try to
Interesting.
sleep, that's when the evil warlord shows up and they got to
The
run
magic.
again. You don't normally suggest Crash Jones unless I can't sleep.
Let's just say I'm having a hard time sleeping today.
You sleep like a rock, normally. Like you could sleep standing up. I've always kind of found that impressive.
Yes, it's been a long day, so I think I'm just going to need maybe a little wind down time. Works for you, maybe it'll work for me.
All right.
The TV's on, but Quint is not looking at the TV.
Why was it a hard day? Because of the prison?
No,
Is that
the prison
guy?
itself was really nice.
Oh. That guy that came to harass you?
He was not harassing me, Wesley. You could say he was my ex,
Oh.
but we didn't
Like-
really break up. I instead disappeared off the face of the earth. So, went on assignment undercover elsewhere.
Oh, so I guess he
without
was real
telling
mad.
anyone. Not at first. I think he's more sad and disappointed than anything, if I had to guess. Maybe mad. I don't know. I can't tell. I guess no. I'm not going. I don't know his mind.
Do you
I
think
told
we're
him
gonna
we
get?
had a discussion, and I think it went as good as it could have gone, but it was not a pleasant discussion.
Oh, well, did you explain to him that you was, I don't know, sent off on a mission so you couldn't be there?
I did.
Did that work?
A little. It was, I used to be a spy, right, Wesley? I told you. Yes, for the Soleimani.
Right, but you said there weren't like lots of explosions.
I knew it.
There were. I wasn't in that department, but I was supposed to spy on the people, and he's an Imperial, and the Soleimani are not very fond of the Imperium, and so I was sent to collect the information.
Neither is Terrica. I don't know why nobody's fond of the Imperium. They're pretty great.
It depends on your experiences with the Imperium, Wesley.
See,
They also have every place has its drawbacks, and some people disagree with them more than others. I may have been sent to collect information on his family and house.
on your boyfriend. Oh,
Yep.
that sounds like something you'd get out of Crash Jones.
Doesn't it just? So,
Did it work
I felt
out?
guilty keeping that information from him, so I told him about that. And
Well,
he was
but-
not very happy.
Well, telling the truth is always the best thing to do, sort of, depending. I mean, sometimes, most of the time, not
that's-
always. Sometimes you have to lie,
Yes.
but
I understand. Yes, you've told me this many times, Wesley. We've been over this. So I decided I did not want to lie to him anymore. So I was very honest. And it was just a lot emotionally,
Oh.
And then I had my interrogation with the princess not long afterwards, and that was just very draining.
Did she torture you?
No, just a very deep dive into my background with a lot of questions. Lots of memories that I pushed way down,
But you've been cleared, so everything's okay, right? So,
Yes, I have been cleared. I am not. I do not have any espionage charges against me from the Kingdom of Drinax.
well,
Cleared.
You've always-
Just tired, emotionally and mentally.
I'll tell you what.
What's on my mind?
I'll look over you. You can like try to go to sleep, and if I see you looking like you're having a nightmare or something, I'll wake you up. How about that?
All right, Wesley.
Hey, thank you.
For what?
Well, on Assis, when I went to go and get my surgery, you were the one that picked me up and you helped me, make sure I had food, and ever since
Yes.
that thing that happened with the pirates on fire, you let me be your roommate, and when I started getting a nightmare, you'd wake me up, and you've been really good to me. So I just wanted to say thank you, because I know probably you probably would like to have your own room or something, but so thanks.
Anytime, Wesley.
And I mean, I'm not a spy or anything like that, but
No.
I'm pretty good doing mechanics on a combine, so
That is
I
true.
could be there for you too.
Yes, you are not built for spy work, Wesley. It would not bode well.
I'd be pretty good at it. I've only cut myself once on that one sharp knife, so if I could do it.
It's more than just knives, Wesley. And trust me, it is a compliment when I say that.
Well, anyway, I mean, I could watch out for you too, because we're pals.
Aye.
So I feel like that's what pals do.
Right, Wesley. Normally, I would insist on you getting a good night's sleep as well, since you are technically still growing. But because I've had a very long day, I will allow it.
All right. Well, let's watch Crash Jones in the marathon run.
Yep.
Okay.
And Quint just disassociates like immediately. Like as soon as the conversation is done, just whoomp. But we'll eventually like doze off sitting up in the bunk or something.
Yeah. And the ship, flown by Terrica and then Quint, after far too little sleep, makes its way back towards the floating
Still got
palace.
plenty of sleep in prison, I'm
Oh,
almost
yeah.
battery banked up.
Sensors, I suppose, are watched for a while as you make your way back, getting towards the floating palace. Your IFF is on, so they know who you are, and Quint's back on at this point. Can I get your piloting spacecraft roll?
Yes, you can. Piloting.
Dex-based, of course.
Yes, of course. Well, it would help if I had
It's not
this
particularly
open.
difficult, just, Absolutely. You fly in. It's a perfect landing as you fly in towards the floating palace with its very small docks, and you're sort of waved in. You notice that it seems as if the protocol is a little bit different. The lockdown seems to have been raised because they're like getting
Yes.
in and out was a bit of a question, but
Yes,
it
yes.
seems as if the lockdown has been raised. And then on Ebony 4, day 159, about 10 o'clock in the morning, the gambler touches down at the floating palace, back home again.
Thank you for flying Gambler Spaceways. We have arrived at our destination, Drinax Floating Palace. You may now unbuckle your seatbelts and return your trays to their upright positions.
The ship itself is, of course, there are two sets of docks. There's the regular docks, which holds about 3, and then there's the royal docks, which only the royal family gets to use, and also the gambler. Those are, you get the special docks, because you are, after all, a bit
Special.
yes. And you arrive, and the world is your oyster on this bright day. Although messages start coming in, pinging, and June's like, "Oh, we've got messages coming in. Quite a few messages. I will distribute them all to your comms so you can look at those messages that have come in. Please have a wonderful day. Val, do you want breakfast? I've made your favorite."
There will be
Terrica
no
will,
answer
like-
from Val, as Val is complete. Pretend you haven't slept in, like, I don't know, 10 years. And then
Yeah.
you are able to do so.
Then Terrica won't wake Val up. They'll very quietly like slip out of the room, and then when the iris is shut, they'll be like, "Val is sleeping, June. Just give him until he wakes up."
All right. Well, if you want to put in your orders, I can make them, but you'll have to move them from the machine itself yourselves. Severance, what would you like for breakfast?
I wasn't expecting that. I'm still waking up. A coffee. I'll have a coffee.
All right. Quint, what would you have for breakfast?
Eggs, bacon.
Ooh, yes, and eggs. I want eggs.
Tablasto, and the protein shake.
I'm afraid we're out of Tablasto.
Oh,
June is a cat right now.
Then I would
The cutest.
Just eat everything else without the Tablasto is fine.
All right.
Maybe a
I
little extra
believe
pepper.
yes. Corrine took the last Tablasto. I know that Evan was
She
about
would.
to go and bring in more, but I don't
Wait,
know.
didn't she hand me a personal
That's-
bottle of Tablasto?
Yes, but that's your personal bottle. It's not in the galley.
No, okay.
Not in the
No,
galley
that's fine.
anymore.
I have,
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
a personal stash, and I go, Green.
Corrine took a lot of the Tablasto and just gave you one back, but only you.
You know, she gave me one back. That shows how much she cares.
Terrica, what would you like for breakfast?
Cup of coffee and cup of coffee to go. Actually.
All right. Excellent. Severance, your breakfast is
Yes.
ready. If you could remove it from the machine, I can make the next one.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'll be back. And I huff and leave.
And of course, because you do not have an Evan with you, you all have to actually just pick up your breakfast yourself. Because
Absolutely.
there's, they gotta remove it from the machine.
This is what we paid him for?
Well, that's part of the problem. He wants to be doing something more.
Well, I mean, he doesn't mind doing it because it's actual real food and real cooking. This is a bit more, I would say, I would guess that Severance doesn't mind this food so much because Severance is used to being on the surface of the planet where you get a lot of paste.
True.
But it's
If it has mouthfeel
That
literally
paste
at
wasn't
all, it's
bad.
good for me.
yeah.
There's texture.
Yeah. Ooh.
Did you see the macros on that paste? That stuff was incredible.
What is flavor anyway? You eat for the
I
flavor,
love
eat
how
for the
everyone has a
texture.
different taste.
Yeah.
So there is, in terms of sort of messages, there's quite a few. There are questions like, where did you go? Where are you? What's happening? Right, just general things. But there are messages coming in about the fact that it's Argent coming up the day after. So it's time to plan funerals. And Terrica clearly gets the sense that they are going to be expected to do a lot of this in the absence of their father's presence to do that. But there certainly needs to be a funeral planned for both Lord and Lady Hill. The princess sends a message to Quint saying that that she has the sense that Quint would like to plan a funeral, and that on Drinax tradition is to hold funerals in Argent, if possible, and that she would be happy to facilitate anything that Quint would need in order to have that happen, and
I'll
that,
consider it.
of course, there is a message for Severance, asking Severance to not take up all of the space in his estate because they will need to move someone else into the estate.
Whatever.
Once the new admiral has been appointed, but that the estate should be completely clear of Lord Rax's goods at this point in time, so you can take whichever room you like.
Are they expecting me to clean up Lord Rax's shit?
Oh, no. All of his stuff is gone. That was part of the message. That they have
whatever.
they've cleared out the estate.
Skip. Boop.
That,
Please don't take up too much space. Done.
Yeah, easy.
The crew is requested tonight in Ebony to have a state dinner because the professor, who's also not on your ship because you also left before you got back on the ship, has been pressing and pressing and pressing to have this dinner so they can find out about what's going on with this globe. And so there is a dinner tonight where your presence is all requested. And these are all coming from slightly different people because it doesn't seem as if there's a real, no one's taken over Lord Hill's position just yet. It's all a little bit catch as catch can.
Okay.
Terrica is just gonna grab their coffee and head to their house. Well, specifically to Lord Hill's office, because that's where everything they will need for a lot of stuff would be.
Does anybody go with them? What do you all do on this day? I would like to know. You're free till the evening, more or less.
No.
Terrica's just gonna like walk into the galley and like grab their mug off their like to-go mug of coffee off of the thing, and they're gonna say,
I know that my mask is in your mom's office, so I will request to go with you to there if you have the time today.
Are you is Quint specifically asking to pull the mask right now?
Yeah, or at least to verify that it is indeed the mask, you know.
Okay. Terrica will say, sure, but it's going to take some doing to get it out of the office appropriately. And I'm not saying that to try and hold on to it. I'm just...
Nope, it's fine.
Okay. Because they want to be able to pull off the mask, but they need to replace the mask with something because it's a lever right now to a secret.
It is a lever right now.
So, and they don't want to necessarily tell people about that.
Yeah. Severance, there are people who want to talk to you, of course. You all are all very important people, and people want to talk to you. And mostly it's a lot of paperwork and bureaucracy, meetings. There's a lot of people who've requested meetings with especially Terrica and Severance. There are some legal questions about what to do about Val, clearly, because things were put out in court that some people were defrauding other people. So there are some questions that are going to have to sort of be answered probably later in the evening. Touring, right? That sort of a thing. I imagine at some point in time, it seems like you're going to probably have everybody off the ship except for Val, who's probably still sleeping, is what I imagine.
Absolutely.
And that's probably when Evan makes his way back onto the ship. Yeah. I just saw a hand from Ari.
I was doing my wavy thing down, but I was like, would they have passed? And then I had a thought of like, would they have passed each other? And then I was like, it's fine. Terrica doesn't need to see Evan.
Yeah. And Val, you'd hear some humming. Your mom, June, humming a song that she often used to hum when you were younger. How this AI program knows that, because it's not really exactly an AI program. And then, Val, sweetie?
Is she actively trying to wake him up?
Just a little bit, yeah.
This would be one of those things where,
it's probably nothing, like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Right. No, nothing registers on the face, but as she's talking, his hand just comes up. Yeah.
Evan is here and wanting to tender his resignation.
Tell him to leave it on the table.
All right. I will do. He's moving out his items, his goods from his quarters.
All right. He rolls over. And then it kind of hits him, and he moves like he's going to do something, but he's still Val, and he goes back to sleep.
And June just kind of continues humming. Does anyone have anything to do before? Oh, we have an office, I believe. Quint and Terrica head over to the von Rippenhausen estate, which of course is actually quite spacious for the floating palace, but still quite cramped, to be honest, because again, it has quite a few people who are living in it, and it is not that big. Yes.
I think when we walk in, like if Quintessa is there, Terrica will greet her, give her like a great big hug, and like.
Well, she gives him the biggest hug. Well,
Hi.
little terror, how are you?
That's not a good question right now. Where was Evan? Were you able to find Evan? Did he stay here last night?
Oh, no, dear. He's booked passage on Sal Dancett's ship. Now that the ship itself can, now that the travel lockdown has been raised, it's the one ship that ever comes here, or two, and he'll be shipping out on that one with those 3 small children.
Oh. Okay.
Can never escape.
And who are you? There's this older woman, looks ancient, right? Dressed in black, which is the color of home and hearth, looks at you. Now, who is this?
Oh, I am Quint Vesper. Nice to meet you.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you.
Met him on the travels. Fantastic crew member.
Oh, you are the one who was arrested for espionage. Everyone's been talking about it. Yes.
Yep,
I remember.
That's me.
But then apparently you were cleared, so good on you.
Thank you. It turns out they were not completely accurate charges.
Oh,
As was said at the time. How are you, Quintessa?
Oh, well, it's a lot of people coming in and out. Lots of work to do. A lot of blood to clean up from the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his Argent is coming up, and I assume there'll be a funeral. Do you want me to help?
Yeah, I could use the help.
Yes.
I need to put together the number of funerals that need to happen in the order, of course. And if we could set up discussions with each of the family members sometime today, so that we can find out what it is that would be right for them.
Yes, there are, of course, protocol. The investiture will be happening next, but you are of Hill. You will be sending them off into the next world so that you may then take over in this one afterwards. Yes. I will send off the invitations, the meetings.
Thank you. Am I missing anything?
This old woman turns to you, Quint. I want to thank you, Quint Vesper. It was said that you were the one who put their body in front of Liege Terrica. But a few days ago. Thank you for saving their life, and I am only sorrowful that you were not also able to save Lady Hill in the same way that I was not able to save Lord Hill. I will.
All did the best we could.
That
I
was
shall-
never on you, Quintessa. I hope you don't.
I think it was.
There
I
were
will,
more powerful forces at work. Please don't blame yourself.
Who knows how long he lay there bleeding before I thought to go into the room. Perhaps if I were faster, I could have saved him. I'm so
and
sorry.
Terrica will like grab Quintessa's shoulders. No, they wanted him dead. They weren't going to let him stick around for someone to save him. I know it's so comforting to think that there's something that we could have done or controlled to stop horrible things from happening, but sometimes horrible things just happen.
You should be able to go into your mother's room. The blood is gone. It's good. It's good that you are here by Terrica's side, Quint.
I do.
Oh.
Would you make us some cups of chamomile, please?
Of course.
After you make the, if you have time, not a rush at all.
Yes, this Imperial Duke sent these flowers for you. Something about the engagement, since you are single after all, apparently. And there's
what?
A bouquet of red roses.
There's a bouquet of red roses for Quint or for Terrica?
For
Terrica.
Terrica. It was announced in court that the marriage
no.
was a fraud.
Wait, from the Duke? From Caspian?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there a note attached? Terrica's gonna walk over and look at them. Is there a note attached to these things?
There's a small note, and it says, "It seems as if our engagement is back on."
Terrica's just gonna tap the note twice against their fingers, and then they're gonna say, "Please let me know as soon as you have those interviews scheduled." And I mean discussion. You know what I mean. Interviews is the wrong word.
Yes. I don't know if you've heard, but Lord Rax has been imprisoned for treason. It's all the gossip around the floating palace at the moment. I thought I should let you know.
Which prison?
And the one where Quint was.
Good. Good. I wasn't sure. Treason is such a serious crime.
Yes, well, he is still, at least for the moment, a noble, as are we all. Well, but if that is going to change, we'll probably change in mahogany. So, and probably a trial. Oh, he'll probably need an advocate. Is that very nice Admiral Severence available? I hear he's an advocate.
Severance can speak for himself, and I'm sure he will. He's very verbose.
Well, perhaps you should let him know about the need.
Yes. No. Yes. Yes.
Good. And Quintessa goes to make the chamomile as you have mountains of paperwork.
Terrica's not going to text Severance this, by the way. They're going to have a conversation about this. They're not going to be like, by the
Hey.
way, remember that person you screamed treason at in the thing? I think maybe it would be good if you like represented him. Yeah, that's going to be a conversation.
Thank you.
At any
Yeah,
time,
God.
buddy.
The mask, of course, is in Lady Hill's office. There's also a mask in like the sitting room, but that's the one
That's a
that
different mask.
that's a different. That's one that Terrica knows, that has been in Terrica's life all their life. But there is the mask.
I imagine when we walk in, it just smells like cleaning fluid. Like there is no scent of
Pine
Lady
sol.
Hill in here anymore at all. And everything was destroyed, right? Like all of the records and everything. So it's super clean in terms of there aren't any papers lying around, or are there?
Not all the records, just the important ones that were relevant
Oh.
to what the assassin wanted to get rid of. They didn't have a lot
okay.
of time. They got rid of the records they cared about. There's still lots and lots of records. There's just some that are
Interesting.
missing.
Maybe most of the ones reported that had to do with our special friend, middle-of-the-year-old warlord. Yeah.
Yes.
I have
There
a
are
feeling
no
those are
records-
which is a shame. Those would have been
There are no
useful.
records relating the millennial old warlord at all in this office. There are, of course, just general records. The assassin didn't have time to go through everything, but those are gone. The millennial old warlord, gone. Everything else, open.
Okay. So it's super clean smelling, but it looks so anyway, when they walk in, Terrica will shut the door, and then they're gonna look at Quint and they're gonna try and say something psionically to Quint. Because they
Roll it.
don't know if Lady Hill's office is bugged. You would think it wouldn't be, but at the same time, what other office would you bug?
Roll it.
Do.
Mind like your telepathy.
Oh shoot. I almost did it at the average, but this isn't easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Whew, I have a
Yes.
hair in my chinny chin chin.
Spin the point. Terrica reaches out to Quint. What does Quint look like at this moment in psionic space?
Oh, at this moment, if it's in Quint's mind space, we're in that alleyway, because Quint is very compartmentalized, with the hand hovering over the back door to the Cirque, which is the nicest, cleanest back door in the whole alley. It's got like a little illumination, little lights. It's kind of got like a little theater-esque entrance, but it's a back alley, so it doesn't make complete sense. But that's how it is. Yeah.
There's a
And
stage
just
door.
hand hovering over the stage door. Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I just didn't
Oh.
want to say anything in the office because I don't know if it's bugged.
Would you like me to check?
Yes. And even if it is,
I won't
you
be able to
can't.
guarantee, but you
I
know,
won't say anything there
I
either
know
way.
where I
But
would
it would
put
be
bugs.
if you could actually sweep this office and my papa's office, that would be really good. But just so you know, the mask is it is stuck to the mantle for right now.
What?
So
What do you mean stuck?
yes.
It's there.
Um,
It's looking at you.
It's been attached, so I'm going to have to unattach it carefully.
I walk over to look at exactly how this is attached. Immediately, stress levels. Woof. What do you
Yeah.
mean it's affixed? This is a sacred relic, essentially.
And Terrica's like,
This-
oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
This
This
is a
mask.
priceless sacred relic. As I just mutter psionically as I power walk towards it.
Could you describe it?
Oh, so it is a mask. Covers. It's asymmetrical, so it covers more of one side of the face than the other, with a big vein of viridian going through it, streaking through it. The rest of the mask is made out of a green burled poplar, so it's shades of green on green in different swirls and cuts of facets. And the viridian, it's not particularly like faceted like you would a diamond to get the extra sparkle. It's almost like just a polished natural stone, so you can see all the the natural fluctuations that you would have within it, meaning minimal working and minimal shaving off, just enough to shape it into a mask.
Do you touch it?
I look at it first.
Mhm.
I was told it was affixed, so I don't want to damage anything by exuberantly going, the mask! And hitting it like I hit my microphone just now, you know? But Quint wants to touch it so bad. Like, the hands are there, hovering, just ready, but, like, I'm looking around to see, like, praying that they didn't drill into it to make it to fit it in or something. Like, just seeing how they have it affixed.
Mechanics.
I think I actually have that.
Can
I do.
Terrica aid and abet this because they have used the mask as a fixed as well?
Mechanics,
Yes, please.
Intellect? Because I'm
Mechanics, intellect. And Terrica, you can roll... actually, a number of different things would be possible. You could roll mechanics if you're thinking about it that way. You could also roll stealth, or like mechanics, stealth. That would work. Engineer would work. Engineer wouldn't work. It would be mechanics, or you could do stealth because you are used to the kind of the stealthy nature of the situation.
I'm gonna roll mechanic because Terrica, yes, they do know stealth, but like their brain works more closer to like the mechanic side of life.
With a boon.
Ooh.
You're fine.
Oh.
You're good. Please, if you would roll mechanics, and you're going to be getting a bonus to this roll,
Okay.
obviously.
Do you need me to add the bonus in, or are you going to add it after?
Plus 2.
Plus 2. 11.
Hey.
You can disconnect it. What they have done, it's like an advanced polymer. You're going to need like a solvent, a special solvent, which probably is going to be in this office somewhere, because obviously, if you tried to pull it off otherwise, it would not be great for the mask.
No, and that's the priority here, is making sure the mask is okay.
Yeah, but there's an advanced polymer that's probably going to be in this office, which, you know, some searching around you can find, and you can remove the mask from this lever.
It's going to need a solvent. Should probably be here if it was a fixed.
Terrica will start like scouring the office for the solvent.
And there's probably you're gonna have to turn off the alarm system as well.
It's also connected to the alarm system.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, it's not too long before you can get it taken off. You have to turn off the alarms. Then you got to get the solvent, and you can pull it off. But it'll just take you a little bit of time. But you can certainly do it.
Yeah, and now that I know how to take it off, I just caress, give the mask a little caress.
That's when you're reminded of visions of murder.
Oh no!
Murder.
Oh.
You're seeing people being murdered, and there's someone who looks like you just murdering people and laughing.
Someone who looks like me? Oh, I don't like the Quint clone.
Welcome to Clone Club.
And we're gonna go to break.
Why does he have clones of me?
Pig Cloney Club.
Yay!
You don't know if it is a clone because you're seeing this vision in your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some Drinaxian robes, finally.
Nice.
But
Lord
it's
Terrica.
this sort of vision of you just murdering people. And there's a stain in the mask in your mind.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right, everybody.
Oh, the heartbreak.
Pretty good.
We're going to go on a 10-minute break. And when we come back, I imagine we're going to have a dinner and find out what's in the treasure globe and,
Yay.
you know, have some Final
Treasure Globe, the
conversations?
thing, the ducal
Yay!
code thing that we need to talk with the guy about with the grains and the stuff. Okay, thought so.
That we've been talking
Yep.
about for three
Yeah.
seasons.
Okay, yep.
We've been
Just wondering which global thing, which
Oh, yeah.
which of the many side quests we're chipping into. Okay, go. All right.
All right. We'll be back in 10, everybody. Catch you on the flip side. And hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're back for the back end, the second half of The Gamblers, our Pirates of Drinax campaign. And when we left off, we have a bunch of people doing a bunch of things. If you don't mind, I would just like a quick moment. Val, I believe you wanted to go and speak with Rochando.
No. If
No?
Rochando is going to be the way I... Val has
But
turned
you can
over
tell-
a whole new leaf. Val has decided that if there is going to be stressors in his life, he is going to fucking ignore them because he's got two things now, friends and apparently a lot of money. So I don't need Rochando or his price hikes.
It's just a couple 100% price hikes. It's not that big of a deal.
I'm tempted to pay somebody to kill Rochando and take a shit, but I won't do that. See, that's how he's grown.
You've
That's how
changed.
Val has.
I see.
Yes, he's
I see.
matured.
I see. You know, but if you make inquiries, right? If you make inquiries, you will find out that Rochando is a little oily, right?
Okay.
A
Then
little,
this is
a little
what
corporate. You know,
I'll tell you the only dealings that I will have with Rochando are this. And whenever somebody, like whoever it is, tells me, "Oh, Rochando, he a couple 100% markup," go, "Oh, okay. Well, then I'll better start my trade practice soon. It should be up and running next month." That's what I'll do. And by the way, everything is going to be half what its normal price is because I'm trying to make Drinax better. And tell Rochando to find a delicate place in which to fuck himself. And then I'm out.
I like
That
this
is
new
said.
Val.
That is said. I'm going to put a couple of things out there. The person you're speaking to is a Drinaxian, right? Whose response to
noble.
what you said, of course, is a noble and also a courier, messenger and also noble. That Drinaxian's response to what you said is a smirk, as if she is very happy to tell Rochando what you said, because you get the sense that she also doesn't like Rochando, and maybe a lot of people don't
He's
like
also
Rochando.
saving up for a med bay.
By the way, I'm going to tell you this too. Greg and Val had no intention of ever starting some type of like secondary trade route occupation until just this moment. And now both Greg and Val are very interested in getting like not necessarily a black market, more of like a market. Like I'm going to buy stuff, bring it to Drinax, sell it for half its value. And just to keep, prices moving and basically to run Rochando out. And basically one of the things is the only way that you can buy from my new trade. I'm thinking of this. The business model is building itself, Trooper. The only way that you can buy goods from this brand new Free Fields-esque trade company is that you have to sign off using your sworn nobility that you will never do business with Rochando again. Universe, you're welcome.
I love it.
I'm going to point out something, Greg, that I feel like I need to point out. There's no way that you could afford selling things at half the price unless, I don't know, those goods might have been pirated. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying that, like, if you got
I'm
them
not telling you
for
where
free-
I'm getting these goods. I'm saying
Oh, yeah.
all I need to do, Trooper, is have like 2 or 3 loads
Yeah.
of these goods show
Yeah.
up. Where I
Yeah.
take a hit on it, so what?
Mhm.
But 2
Sure.
or 3 loads later, Rachondo is gone. Rachondo's living in
Yeah.
a box down on Planet. I am done with.
Mhm.
Nope. You're not going to sell me my med bay? The med bay I've been pining for 6 fucking.
Mhm.
Okay. Then you target of my ire.
Oh no, he would totally sell it to you for 12 million credits. I mean, there's no other options, right? Or some family heirlooms that are worth about 12 like you can see like if you go by his bazaar, which is like the
His
only
prices are bizarre. Am I right?
Yeah. It's like the only place to
How
get
bizarre.
off. There's like basically that place, the Rachondo's Bazaar, and there's one ship, Sal Dancett's ship, which is the one that the kids and Evan are going to sort of leave on. That one trading ship, the Sal Dancett ship, is the like Sal Dancett. You know Sal. You don't know Sal Dancett. It's Sal Dancett is a Vargar woman. And her ship has been around for some time. You've been on Drinax for a while. It's one of the only ships that comes in and out. And Sal and Rachondo do not get along. Rachondo has like a variety of kind of fancy ships. Sometimes they're Imperial, sometimes they're Reach ships. Kind of come in and deliver things to Rachondo personally, which he then sells for insane markups. And he will take whatever precious, priceless, rare works of art that he could. I mean, you don't want to know what he charges for like toilet paper. Do you know what I mean? Like he's that guy, and you basically have him, and you have Sal Dancett ship. But Sal Dancett, as a person who's traveling out, is like not always around. But those are the two main trading forces. Rachondo seems to have. You've lived here on the Floating Palace for quite some time. More than one ship comes in. It's not like Rachondo has only one ship that he seems to be associated with. There are these ships that come in that he's associated with that gives him stuff that he then just overcharges.
Does he have a
people
favorite
for.
ship?
There's
Like
there
the one
are a couple
that does the most runs.
Oh yeah. You would know that one, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want to have its name in case it
Sure.
falls prey to pirates.
Oh, yeah, that would be weird.
Wouldn't it be really weird?
That would be weird. He is always. Yeah.
Pirate. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not muted. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. No, he's a person who has really helped out Drinax. You know, when Drinax just didn't have fuel cells, he wouldn't give it to them, but he would.
It's time for a
sell
little
it to them.
payback.
Yeah,
For all that nice, good Samaritan work.
Yeah, and Rachondo is. There are almost no other ships that come in the system except for Sal Dancett's ship. And you don't know if that's because he's discouraged them from coming here or people just don't come here, but he seems pretty secure that he will always be able to take advantage of this place and the people on it as much as he wants. In a friendly way, of course.
Sounds like Val's about to make him poor Chondo.
Okay, yeah. So anybody that like he talks to, about this particular endeavor, he will spread that same word. That okay, well, I'll just wait until my trade company is up and running. Give me your information, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna spend some money, and I want a advertisement to go out on all of the blast screens around the floating palace. That says coming soon, free fields trading, best prices in Drinax, hell, best prices in the known universe.
Oh my goodness. That's what you're doing today. Rachondo makes
I have so much energy. I slept for 10 fucking hours.
Wow.
And let us go, unless we have anything, to our dinner tonight, I believe. There will be a grand banquet tonight. If everyone is ready. You all look, you are all really important people, and there's a long day worth of everybody coming in and out, wanting to sort of have your business. The ship that Val Dancett's ship that Evan and the 3 kids are on is not left yet because there was a lockdown. It has to it's still sticking around, but it will be leaving at some point. So tonight, in the royal palace, there is a grand reception, and this reception has a bit of a weird mood because it was supposed to be for a number of things, and when you are there, the imperial ambassador to the Third Imperium, of course, is there. And he's in all of his finery. The Duke is there, as a matter of fact. And the Duke bows when he sees Terrica and comes over and does this like deep courtly bow while looking at Quint the entire time.
If there was time for this to happen today, I think Terrica would have looked for the contract in Lady Hill's office and read it. So depending on how stuck they are, I mean, they would just.
And I would have slipped for bugs.
Back.
No bugs. The place is clean.
Okay.
Well, there were no bugs. I'm kidding. Well,
I mean, the place is wired, but that wire is all internal, right? Lady Hill knows exactly what's happening in her.
She wants to record her own conversations in her office so she can use it against other people. If they said something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lord Hill's office, I imagine.
Yes. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. Terrica would have also asked Quint if Quint had time and was willing to go have a conversation to like talk to Evan.
You want me to talk to Evan?
Well, because Terrica needs to do all the discussions with everybody about the funerals. And they found out that he was flying out, so clearly he's leaving the ship. But
Quint doesn't know what they would say, but Quint would have that conversation if Terrica told him to, because Terrica ranks higher in the ship hierarchy.
if Quint has a look on their face when Terrica asks, Terrica won't press it. Like it would be a literal. It wouldn't be a chain of command ask. It would be a hey, are you willing to like go talk with Evan? Kind of ask.
What did you want me to say?
Apologize. He didn't have a place to stay last night. Like, well, he did, but he clearly didn't know about it. He didn't come here, so at the very least, apologize and I don't know.
I think it would mean more coming from you, but I can do that if that's what you want me to.
You're right. No, it would. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Terrica will try and get over to apologize to Evan. I don't know if we'll have time. I'll leave that to you, Trooper, and like everything that has to happen today. But that would be something I'd want.
That's
to
how that
done.
conversation would have went. And it's just been like, I'm sorry.
What? Why are you making me do this? Okay, fair point.
Like,
Okay,
I have to
yep,
talk
I'll
with
do it.
Kareen. Why do you want me to talk to Evan too? I don't know.
Because you talked to Kareem so good. It was such a good conversation. I'm just trying to get you to save Evan too.
He's leaving for a different reason, and I don't think I can convince him.
I think Terrica could, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe not.
There would not be time before the dinner because it is a very basically it is just so busy. Like it's just like all madness. Like this is like
might catch him after dinner, maybe.
Yes.
Okay,
but there's been a lot going on.
Because it's unlikely that they're going to leave during dinner time anyway.
Oh, true. It would probably be like tomorrow morning or something.
Probably,
yeah. Because most likely, if you have an important trader, that trader is probably going to want to be at dinner, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people here.
Right.
Right.
This is a fancy dinner.
This is a fancy dinner.
I put my fancy jacket on.
Let me talk about what you all see when you come to this dinner so you can decide what you want to do about this.
Oh, boy,
So at this dinner, you're going to have all of the major nobles are going to be here. Everybody who's anybody within the floating palace is here, but there are also more people here. You're going to see the 9.5 foot tall Aslan prince in exile, Casil of Aroy, who is he's an Aslan prince, and he showed up here in the floating palace some time ago, several years ago, And he's, he's a noble, I guess, but his clan, the Oroith clan, is a dominant clan in the subsector. It's quite important, and he is not there. He's here. He doesn't speak about his past. He does not speak about why he left or when he left. Now, I will note that Terrica has been away for a long time, but Severence and Val have been on the Floating Palace in this interim time period, so they know a bit more about this than Terrica does. He is well known to be a very good pilot and a very good warrior, but again, when he first arrived, because he's male, he did not know how technology worked or how to handle money. So he was a bit of a mess, because those are not skills that those are just not skills that male Aslan learn. That's not their job. And so he was, not in the best space. He did ask to be in the Star Guard, and Lord Rax said absolutely not.
Private jump pack? No.
No.
Absolutely not. Come on.
So he basically just sort of works as a bodyguard for visiting people and as an interpreter. He just kind of has been around, but he's there, right, in his finery at this dinner. The Imperial Consul, Thal Pollock, is there as well. Lord Rax is not here, obviously. Rachando is here.
I thought you said important nobles. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, he's in prison, so,
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
That answers that.
Yeah. If Severance went to his quarters on the Floating Palace,
Probably not.
All of Lord Rax's stuff is in boxes in front of it, and
I probably opened it up and then it was empty, and I just went, and then I left.
Yeah. Chieftain Galx is there, who of course smiles at Val. The Cleon Hardy, the ombudsman from Asim, is there, and curious as to what is going on. Sal Dance is there, all right, our free trader. Scholar Voha is there. They are the master of the Scholar's Tower. The prince, of course, is there. A lot of people that you would, if you know the palace, they're all the prince, everybody's there. There's some other people who are also there who are not regulars of the Floating Palace. That reporter is there. Of course, the professor is there. There is, when you come in, you see two people talking to each other that are not from the Floating Palace. There is another Aslan, another Aslan or another Aslan man who is not interacting with Casil at all. He is chatting with a woman, and the woman herself, human, and she's got long sort of, she kind of looks, she looks Mardukian. She's got that sort of, the look, like a
Marduk.
Sammy look from Marduk. She's got that kind of Sammy look, sort of with almond eyes and sort of blonde hair.
Not a Mardukan?
Yeah, like a Mardukan.
Mardukan. Nice.
And they're sort of chatting in the corners. Everybody's sort of milling about, ready for this dinner to commence. There's also, it seems to be, somebody else there. It looks like some kind of diplomat, perhaps, or politician, also not from the Floating Palace, or perhaps a merchant, somebody like that, who's there are a couple of visitors here, not too many, probably came on Sal Dancett's ship, because again, not many ships come back and forth. And as the dinner is going, you can kind of mingle and hear things here and there. And the person who seems to be that sort of diplomat or perhaps is loudly grumbling. And you get this sense that this person's from Torpol. The princess, by the way, is watching everybody. Everybody is from Torpol, which was a planet that you were supposed to, it actually is where Kareen is currently waiting for you all, and that you have a mission at, right? That you have an opportunity, as it were. And he's complaining loudly about all the piracy that's been happening, that's been hitting his planet, and he is very surly and irritated by trade disruptions. And he's complaining to the Imperial ambassador about it. And he seems to glance at you all a little bit when he's complaining about piracy. And
What? Sorry.
And it's sort of like whispering things to the Imperial ambassador. That Aslan person who's not the person that you know, and the human woman, they're whispering. Like, there's a lot of people like whispering and gossiping in various corners of this ballroom before things begin. What are you all doing?
About us. They're whispering about us, or they like seemingly.
Well, some people are just whispering in general because people have
Because they're
things to do.
nobles, right?
Some of them are not,
Gossip.
but you know, yeah,
Noble
there's a lot of
goss.
gossip.
Yeah.
Goss. It's it's hot goss. Hot goss.
The rich and bitch.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you all do?
Duke Caspian had bowed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he still there, or
Yes.
is he? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
If Quint is near you, then he is also near you.
Just randomly.
But
what
you
happens?
know, in a kind of a fiance sort of a way. Up in
Is there in
Up
a
in Quint's
fiance
face.
way?
yeah. Just like a little overly familiar, but not
Look
exactly.
at my
but more
ring.
like-
Look at the ring. Look at the ring.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm the self-proclaimed fiance.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Just a little bit of that. Just a little bit of.
He has the ring and not Terrica. I love that.
Yeah. But it's a perfectly fit ring because he bought it.
Yeah, Terrica's never seen it.
He's never seen it.
It's also just like he's just a little bit too, how do I put this?
Annoying.
Sure. But I was going to say
perfect.
more like, he doesn't actually cross the line with Terrica at all. But it's very clear that he's putting on a show for Quint. Is like,
Quint's favorite stone.
he might be trying to make Quint jealous, perchance.
Trying.
might be what's happening.
Ha! You're so funny,
Perhaps.
Terrica. Looks over at Quint.
Yes. Yes. There's a little bit of that. A little bit like, oh, fascinating, right? Trying to sort of like engage you in conversation, but also a
You're
little
so funny.
distracted because
Because Quint is right there.
Yeah.
I think Terrica just like thanks
I've
him for
not
the
been taken
roses.
off of Terrica bodyguard duty, so I am
Yeah.
there.
Oh, that's true. We're still probably.
Yes. I'm right
I
there
love
with
that. Oh, good news.
Mhm.
Also bad news.
Yeah.
I
Where's my
think Terrica
bodyguard
would
here?
just.
Yes. I would imagine
What
so,
happened
right?
to the mooks, right? Because
They're
still
still
in the
being
ship.
held.
Oh, they're being held. That's
no,
right.
they were they're being held to be questioned
okay.
by Lord Rax, which means they're probably still being held.
Right, we should go do that. Sorry,
not
side
available
quest.
for
Free the rest of the crew.
one more side quest.
Free the unnamed crew.
I think Terrica would have removed the bodyguards off of both Wesley and Severance once the threat was neutralized. So I don't. Well, I mean, yeah. Once they knew the assassin was dead. They would have told the guy, and they didn't have the mooks to take care of anymore. They would have told the guys they could do whatever they wanted.
The-
Unless
paying
Severance
the-
wants to have a conversation about that, but like,
keep
Terrica
wanting to
wouldn't
keep,
have.
just like, you could stay, Wilson, just stick around. I'll keep paying you. Just leave him on the crew and just have a bodyguard. He does the fighting for me.
The thing is, they are very loyal. We could potentially, that is not out of the question.
Mhm,
Sounds like a bad
mhm.
idea.
Sounds like a good idea.
And one of them is very good at fighting.
They both are, but what is anyway? The blonde woman, Severance, walks up to you.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a film noir?
What are those? Yes, I have.
Yes, and you know how like sometimes somebody will walk in and they're like
Like
10
for
pounds
days.
of trouble in like an
Right.
8-pound
Yeah, 10
bag.
pounds.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
She's
Like,
10 pounds of
days.
trouble in an 8-pound bag. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound at all flattering or nice, but that's fine.
And she looks like a warrior, but she's slinking like a seductor. And she just has this like 2 glasses of champagne and like just walks up to you and like hands you one. And you guys are all clustered together. So it's not like the rest of the crew does not see this happening. But she walks up to you, Severance, and she says, "Hello." And she definitely has a Marduk accent, by the way.
Hello.
You must be the Admiral Severance.
I enjoy that you said the Admiral. So you would be correct.
My. I've heard so many interesting things about you.
Yes, like what?
Oh, I've heard that you are brave, dashing, swashbuckling even. Someone who's seen the stars, as have I, and who might have interesting stories to tell.
The last one's true, but I'm afraid that you have your information broker seems to be lacking.
Oh, well, you seem interesting to me. Would you mind if I sat by you at dinner?
Look at the crew. That would be where my crew will be sitting.
Oh, well, surely there's enough space for me. My
If
understanding
you
is
were
that
on
you
the
were...
payroll, I would, but I'm sorry, I'm here strictly not for pleasure.
Oh, well, but aren't you all the heroes of Marduk? You did some great heroics there, perhaps? And as someone from Marduk myself, I would love to find out what your thoughts are about my home planet. And you are the most important person to speak to, my understanding is.
Yes?
So, if you're too busy tonight, well, perhaps we could have lunch tomorrow. I would love to hear more about whatever it is you dream of. Oh, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Di Kinnear.
Greetings, I can hear. I'm Aaron Severance.
Yes, I know. I've heard all about you. So, can I invite you to lunch tomorrow?
You could do whatever you like, but I will be turning down this invitation. Thank you, though.
Oh, but...
I know, I'm sorry, but you see, you seem to know so much about me, and I'm lacking the interest to know as much about you.
Well, I could be happy to
So it's going to be a pretty dull conversation. Though you did do a very good job by understanding and knowing that I will be hungry tomorrow.
Yes, I'll tell you what. How about if I just stop by your ship or quarters tomorrow, and perhaps you'll change your mind about lunch?
I
we share...
think this is a wonderful idea, but why don't you meet me in my quarters?
All right, then. And if you're not there, then I'll find you on the Gambler, your ship.
No need to go into the Gambler.
I think we might have some mutual interests. Also,
I'm having a hard time believing you.
if you like, I could meet you in your quarters tonight, after all of this.
Whatever, yeah, sure.
Or wherever you sleep. My understanding is that you sometimes sleep on your ship so far.
Who is
always been
telling you this information?
It's a small palace, and I've always been attracted to powerful men. So, Baron, should I meet you in wherever you're sleeping tonight?
That will not be necessary. Ma'am, I don't trust you at all. The fact that you are giving me very little answers to my very important questions leads me to believe that our date tomorrow that you are dreaming of would
Yes.
not be very exciting for either of us, especially if you are not to answer my questions.
Well,
I'm not sure if there's going to be a conversation at all, if you're just going to hijack the entire interest and make it about what you think you know about me.
And she just, without asking consent, just kind of, touches your shoulder. Well, we'll see. I imagine you'll change your mind. And she sort of, slinks away. Just
Thank you for the DNA.
watching you, And she kind of just watches you all night, making, eyes at you. Slightly predatory eyes, I guess, is the best way to put it.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hate that. Is there a, that is a really good call. Could I read her mind? I think I could. Let me see. It's probably super dangerous to do. No, I wouldn't be able to. Never mind. Because we're out of the ship. I do want to try to get information on this person. What was her name? Kinnear. Kinnear. Diagonally. Kinnear. I'll figure it out. Okay, Kinnear.
Well, you are mingling. What is everyone else doing? Because I want to know what you're doing this evening. Mingling. What else are you doing?
Trying to figure out who the hell this is.
Oh, yeah. I'll have you have a make a roll. I want to know what everyone's doing so I can all have you make a roll.
Right.
Whatever might be relevant. By the way, this woman is all coming on strong to our severance.
Yeah,
in front of your faces.
Yeah, hated
in front of your faces.
Oh, good. Yeah, and you probably all saw me just hate that.
Yeah. 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 What are all the rest of you doing this in our dinner?
Was there enough time to read the Caspian contract before dinner?
Yes, indeed.
What are the high level details of that thing?
The high level details of this contract say that in this marriage, Terrica would remain a von Rapenhausen, but would become the sole heir and inheritor of Caspian's estate, with or without children, though children are certainly assured to be there, and that they will all both, and I'm going to just note this is in the contract, that they are both going to live in the capital, which is not where Caspian is from. Caspian is from very far away from the capital. The capital is where, basically the Senate is, the moot, the imperial moot, and that basically Caspian will be required to keep Terrica with him, and keep Terrica's counsel on all matters of state. But Terrica will keep their recognizable name, but will be introduced and have sort of recognized inheritance, and the children will alternate names. It is in there that the first female child will be a Rippenhausen, and then the first male child will be of Caspian's name, and then there'll be an alternation from then and there. Although there is a what's the word?
Stipulation?
Hook. Thank you. A stipulation. Any twins will be Rappenhausens. And what I'm going to say is, like, the overall look is that this is not a very good contract for Caspian. It's a very, very positive contract for the Rappenhausens in a way that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because the Rappenhausens are really nobody. They're I mean, like, not to be rude, right? But like,
But they really aren't. Drinax is not. Drinax is like a planet with another planet now. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's compared to the Imperial Moot. Like,
no, no. But I will point out something, and that is that this contract is older. And from what Quint told you, this contract was made before Caspian's mother was killed, obviously, because Caspian's mother signed this. And from what Quint told you, Caspian was not going to be living in the person who's the ambassador, like one of the senators would be living in the capital, which is Caspian's mother, not Caspian. So there's no reason why Caspian would be living in the capital at the point in time that this contract was signed. And the signatures are, of course, Lord Marrymore, and also Duke Caspian's mother. Those are the signatories. And then there is a later signature of Lady Hill is on there afterwards, but it doesn't actually look like your mother's signature. It really looks great for it's great for Terrica. Terrica marries this guy, and Terrica gets a lot of stuff in terms of like access to power, imperial power.
and when you combine that with what Terrica knows about the fact that, and just a refresher, that they know that there are like they have signed sort of statements from people within the Imperial Moot saying that they would back Terrica's power play if Terrica wanted to take over the Moot.
Yes, that's correct.
And this is all tied to this is all tied to Marrymore. Like, this is Marrymore's contract, obviously.
Right. Yeah, and that Terrica is actually really the illegitimate daughter of the Emperor and Lady Hill.
That's right. Yeah.
Theoretically, not true, but that's what it says, right? It looks like this is really positioning Terrica to be at the Moot and to be considered legitimate, in case Marrymore wants to do shenanigans. Yeah.
Which he would never do, I know, of course, right?
No. Yeah, but it's actually
creepy
a really
boogeyman.
bad, yeah, no.
The Imperium.
It's a really bad contract. It's a really bad contract for Caspian's family. Yeah.
I think Terrica would
there's no
just...
reason why they would do that.
I think they would just sort of really politely, like, they would acknowledge the flowers from Caspian, and then they would say, they would look toward Quint, like pointedly look toward Quint, and then almost at Quint, like maybe not entirely at Quint, but like almost at Quint, say, we should speak about this at another time.
Of course, milady. My liege.
Liege, thank you.
Liege. I wish I had been told earlier. And he's looking at Quint.
This whole conversation is for Quint.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I am so pleased to... I've heard only good things about your reputation, how trustworthy you are. And like, it's just this. It's just. I'm charmed. Of course.
Of course. Trustworthiness is important.
It is.
I have seen many people, again, Terrica's looking right at Quint,
And
prove
just so you know,
themselves.
because I'm your bodyguard, so I'm like at your shoulder, so he just has to look a little to the side and
Yep,
just turn
yep.
towards
And
me.
Terrica's just like, Terrica's like, and some people have proved themselves time and time again. It is good to see that kind of proof.
Well, I will take my seat. My liege. And he kind of like, he does this thing that's supposed to be kind of romantic, but there's no like passion necessarily in it. No, but there are these looks towards Quint, just a little, you know, and he walks. He's also wearing black for mourning, but that's not the color of mourning on Drinax, because he clearly does not know the color,
Yeah.
the color codes of Drinax, as he sort of sits.
Where he
He's
wouldn't have
also-
said surrender to Terrica. Like, come on.
Yeah, no,
No.
he would, right? Like he clearly, right? Although it
Yeah.
could be a sexual surrender, so it could have been that, but that seems a little bit too forward for somebody.
For an
I mean,
arranged marriage.
No, he doesn't. No,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
There was another group of people you said were chitter chattering. So there was the Marduk group, and then there was the Torpol guy and group, right? And the Imperium guy that was there.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a huge crew.
Yeah.
Huge crew.
Unless,
Try
and
my
I don't want to
best
take.
bodyguard. Just
I
keep
just-
like
I just wanna know-
a straight
I want to know where you all
bodyguarding
are
face.
mingling, so that I can figure
Wherever
out what.
Terrica's mingling, that's what. Because I'm bodyguarding for Terrica right now.
I think Terrica just tries to like work the room, but they're also exhausted, and so they will try and talk with the Torpol guy. But I don't
I
want
would
to
have
like.
given you like
Greg hasn't
like
said
a
anything.
5-hour energy shot before we went to the dinner. Like,
Oh, that would be
the
good.
equivalent here in this universe would be, it's like a 5-hour energy. It's just a straight up B12.
Energy blasto.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
energy.
I would also note that Cleon Hardy, the ombudsman from Asim, is wanting to talk to Val to find out what happened, right? Like, there's like stuff has happened and nobody knows what's going on, so everybody like wants to find out what's happening, and he wants to find Val, right? He wants to know what happened, and he'll like Dr. Morrissey, you're back. Did everything
I am.
go? Is Mr. Rucker? Is he was sent back to Asim safely?
He was sent back to Asim, yes.
All right. Oh. And you can see this like wave of relief wash over him, like. This is high-level politics, right? And diplomacy, and he is not a high-level diplomat, right? You know what I mean? Like he was an economist and newscaster, right? Well, that's good to know. But why are you back?
I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, there was all of that hullabaloo about the marriage to Liege Terrica. Being a fraud? Do you need counsel? Do I need to send for some sort of representation for you?
No, I'm fine. Perfect. He adopts a bit of the Asim twang whenever he's in company.
Oh, all right, because I mean, it's my job to make sure that the seamen are kept safe.
It's a
Thank you.
tall order.
I know.
Let's go get a drink.
All right.
Your job's done. Everything's fine.
But I still wanted to. I don't know if I've not been told if I can still give you the Legion of Honor award, the medal for Asim. I don't know what they're all doing over here. These nobles everywhere.
I tell you what, you hold on to that. We can probably find somebody that's more fitting to pin that on?
Well, I mean, we honestly speak very highly of you, Dr. Morrissey, and one of our own, doing so well, and I wanted to do something to honor you.
Well, you just did. I appreciate the kind words, but who's doing the most back on planet? Let me ask you this: which farmer produced the most food that they passed on to the homeless, the unfarmed, the ones without land?
Oh, the ones without land. Well, it's an interesting thing you say. Certainly, your cousins. They've been doing the most ever since the setback, the loss of quite a bit of property to your Mr. Rucker, and but nonetheless, in the dip, they've been trying their best. A bit underfunded, but they have been trying.
Is Jonah still in charge of that group?
Well, he there was an accident with Jonah. He passed last year. It's actually Jonah's youngest sister, one of your cousins. My goodness. Maggie, I think. Well,
Maggie
she's
is too young for.
well,
I guess not anymore.
not anymore. She's doing a very good job. She's struggling with funding. Mr. Rucker has expanded greatly since you have been on the floating palace, taking up lots of space. But your mother's family has been doing the best that they can with the limited resources available to them.
I'll tell you what. Will you do me a favor?
Yeah. Yes.
I want you to send that to Maggie. That medal or whatever it is. You send it to Maggie and you tell her that help is on the way.
Well, all right. I will. If you need anything, just please let me know, because we in Asim want to stand behind every single one of us that makes it out here and does something important.
Tell them I haven't forgotten home.
I won't. I'll send that message with the next ship that goes out. I'm
Do
glad
me
to see
another
that
favor,
you're...
would you?
Of course.
I know a lot of people lost their land. They've been working others. You tell Asim that my mama's family look to them in the coming months.
All right. Well,
There's going to be a power vacuum.
will you
know
be
what I
coming
mean.
back to Asim?
At some point.
All right. Will
To
you
be
be
fair, I
running
never
for...
left.
I know you've got business, but I hope that you might run for council at some point.
Council. We know what we need. Just tell my mama's family that, you just tell them what I said, please.
I will. I better do the diplomat thing. And he looks at himself, and he's got like a little bit of a stain, like some food has dropped on his shirt. He looks mostly presentable. And sort of heads off.
This is so stupid, but I'm going to do this. There is, what is the psionic thing that you can shit? It's almost like prestidigitation. It's like you can shit. It's come back to me. I'm going to get that stain off there, I guess, if I can figure this out.
Well, here's the thing. There is not a psionic power for that. Normally. You, however, have this ability sometimes to, when you work hard, who kind of just shift reality a little bit.
That's what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you see him heading off towards the prince and the king and the princess, the royal family, to try to do his best. But there's that stain right there.
Val kind of quick steps up behind him and taps him on the shoulder. And when he spins around, he'll take the, like fix his tie and everything. And, we usually don't wear these out in the fields, right? You got it. And then he'll put his hand over where the stain is and try to make it clean.
Please make that psionics-based materialization roll.
Okay. Whatever that is.
Materialization is your new skill. You have it, I think, at 1.
Oh, do I?
So just psionics-based. It's probably on the psionics tab at the lower bottom. I think I put it in there for you.
Oh, there it is. Look at you. You are the best.
I tried for you. I tried.
Here we go. No modifiers or anything. Going straight through.
Nope.
Woo! Sweet shit.
One little psionic point. And his clothing in some ways is sort of remade in your imagination as through a dream. Very subtle, but the stain is gone. It's a bit of a wine stain. And it's just a bit crisper, Not just the stain, but also the shirt. He just looks a bit more tailored. You know what these people look like.
If that's the case, as he is approaching, can Val act as herald, or as introductions go, can he act as the bard in this instance?
Yes.
The herald. And he will do so just with dance as he comes forward and gives him the honorific both to who he's talking to and to the person from a scene, but he will add just a little bit of June's kitchen floor dancing.
I want from you social and diplomacy with a boon. From Terrica, I want social and you've got a couple different options to figure out what's happening with you were looking at Torpol, I believe. And Severance, what was your role that you wanted? I want to know what each one of you are doing. I'm afraid I got a bit of a light.
I wanted to figure out what the hell. I wanted to learn more about that lady.
Yes. You could give me streetwise if you like. You don't have to.
Okay.
There's no reason why you would want to, but you certainly could give me streetwise if you wanted.
Streetwise.
I mean, that could be appropriate. 11 for Val. Terrica.
Yes.
Can I get your probably diplomacy? Could be.
I was thinking diplomat too. Like this is Terrica really trying to ease things and remind Torpol that Drinax is on top of this without necessarily tipping off the Imperium to the fact that off to everything, right? So yeah. It's a very diplomatic dance, I think. And social, you said?
Social or intellect, but they will get you different things.
Okay. I'm gonna do
social. Just slightly different things.
Social. And am I rolling just normal or with a boon?
Normal.
Just normal.
Normal difficulty for this one. Because these are outside of your circle. Very nice. Very nice. And Quint, what about you? Do you have any particular goals that you might like to do while you are being flirted next to by the Duke, etc., etc.?
Flirted at.
Flirted near.
Flirted adjacent.
Flirted adjacent. Yeah.
What is it when there's like when a bomb goes off and it's like the
blast?
Oh, wait, can you hear me now? Yeah.
I've been talking for a while.
Can't hear you.
No.
Now we can. Now we can.
Okay.
Now we can.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Hi, I've been talking for a bit, but it's fine. Quint mingles. Make sure Terrica doesn't get murked. That's highly unlikely now, but you never know, just in case. Especially with how tumultuous things have been. And then secondly, as just trying to get a good read on Caspian. Like, I know what he's doing seems so obvious, but it's all, one of those things like when it's pointed at you, it's so much harder to see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just trying to get a good read. Be like, is he genuinely interested in Terrica? Do I need to be happy for them? Like, is that what this needs to be? I mean, I know Terrica doesn't want it, but like, has he moved on? Like, how has he processed this whole thing?
Intellect deception, and you
Cool.
get to decide whether or not you're at a boon because you know him well, or at a bane because you're in an emotional state. That's up on you. You know.
Yeah. If it was yesterday, I'd say a bane. But Quint had some Crash Jones time, a nap.
It's Jones time.
I wasn't psychically interrogated immediately afterwards, that nap. And so I've had all day today just doing mundane routine things like looking for bugs and stuff. So I will do it. I think Quint compartmentalizes real well, and I think things have been shoved into boxes. Now this box is about ready to pop, maybe, but they're in the box for now. Social deception? Intellect deception. That's what it was.
Intellect deception, yes.
Yes. No modifier, but a 10.
Okay. Yes. So this is a sort of like a long state dinner, and many things are happening at it. And I'm going to tell you a couple of things that you all note. As this, by the way, the unveiling is going to happen after dinner in private, right? They're not going to do this in front of everybody. They're going to just have a small group of people, which would include you all, here to see what happens. So a couple of things. One, Val, you are able to note a couple of things, and that is that the princess seems very invested in Asim in general. She seems to like Cleon Hardy. She seems to want him to do well. She seems to be a little bit on edge because a lot of stuff has been going on. The prince is a bit more standoffish and distrusting. You kind of get this dynamic that anything that the princess likes, the prince doesn't like, right? Like anything that she's in favor of, he's distrusting of. Because you are by the royal family, Val, he is upset, I guess is the best way to put it. He's holding it in, right? But he is not happy, and there's clearly tension, and Cleon would have gotten the brunt of that tension in certain ways from the prince, in terms of like being caught in the middle between those two, but you're able to like thread that needle in a way that keeps his position safe and Asim in good standing. And I imagine you're able to just drop a few things that keep his position well regarded. And it's important to note that he is not a representative of, I mean, he's a representative of the people, right? Of Asim. He was voted on by the people themselves. And he's learning fast. But he also is able, you're able to give him a couple of like, non-verbally, he's able to pick up a couple of the dance steps from you. So he's not as good because he clearly has not been taught these things, but he's picking them up and he's picking up. So like kind of you are two together and you are basically helping him become, because he doesn't know the culture here, but you do. You are able to sort of give him tips subtly, right? To help him become more effective, right? In his job here, just by being around him. You get the sense, by the way, that there has been a bit of an uptick, part of the rumor and gossip you've heard, a bit of an uptick in Foundation terrorism on Asim, a bit more propaganda, some agitators wanting to go back to the way it was under the Foundation because the plan, and it's put a bit of uptick of that taking hold because people were starving. Well, people that Ruby didn't like were not getting a lot of food. Let me put it that way, right? And so, and you kind of get the sense, because people are talking, but they don't know what the signification means, but you do, that it seems as if Ruby was your guess, strategically underfeeding families that he thought would be more receptive to the Foundation, to being radicalized, right? So people who were in some ways more of his allies than his enemies, if that makes any sense. He wasn't like necessarily starving out his enemies. He was starving out people who he figured he could radicalize towards the Foundation side, right? So that's, I mean, he screws over his friends. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of get a sense that that was sort of moving. It doesn't sound to you as if it was particularly advanced, but that it had started back up again. Terrica.
I have a quick question, Trooper.
Please.
Just for my own clarification, wasn't the queen who passed away, wasn't she a big supporter of Asim?
Yes. And as is the princess.
Right, the daughter did as well,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
so the only thing, if I could add anything to that entire
Please.
exchange that you just said,
Please.
Val is not trying to flirt with the princess. Val is trying to promote the Asim type of really
Asim.
kind of stressing the dance, really like the culture
Yeah.
of Asim.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to the point where if the princess wanted to dance with, then Val would absolutely do that. You know what I mean? That type of progression is what he's setting up.
Oh, the princess would absolutely dance with you. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. That would be a fairly quick yes, by the way. You wouldn't even necessarily have to get, if there's 4 stages of work to get to the yes, you get the yes at 2, not at 4. 2 steps earlier than you would think. Terrica. And just gonna note that one. The princess is also looking at you, Terrica, at that as the dance goes.
Throughout the whole dance?
No, but just make sure you know.
Just
make
once.
sure
Oh, okay.
that you note it.
Oh, so we do get a chance to dance? Like she wants to dance?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
yes,
does this
she
dance
does.
happen?
Okay, then if the dance
yes.
actually happens, then
yes.
Val is going full on blending of country and Argentinian tango, really southwestern, really, really deep shit here. And he's pulling out everything his mom ever taught
Danny
him.
Zuko and Cha-Cha.
Exactly, right.
Yes.
Perfect.
American Bandstand is focused specifically on them as they.
Exactly.
Can
Right.
I get a diplomacy roll for you, by the way?
Diplomacy.
Yeah,
I don't
plus
have
3.
diplomacy. I don't believe.
Plus 3.
Okay, so
with a
do I
boon.
just? Okay, this is getting better and better. But if I don't have diplomacy, so how do I roll that? If I
Click on the sheet, you can say show all skills, and then you can click so it will show diplomacy. You'll be at a -3 because of the you don't have it.
But you have a +3, so you get a straight 0 plus a boon.
Hey.
And that'll be social standing.
awesome, there it is. I put it on there. Now can I undo that? Badoom. And it's with
a boon.
social. With a boon. Boon's in there. I think I got the boon in there. Boon's in
And the
there.
+3.
And then that's just the 3 for the modifier.
All the math. That's the math.
I don't know what I did.
Yes, you did.
What I did.
So here's the thing.
There we go. I'll throw 3 points of luck in there for an 11. How's that?
She is very good. She's a very good dancer, and she is very clearly working with you to make you two both as a dancing couple look pretty impressive to the entire court, Terrica.
It is Cha-Cha and Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cha-Cha and Danny. It's Cha-Cha and Danny, and it is very.
I literally grew up in love with John Travolta, so you don't know how happy this entire setup makes me.
Hey, she's the best dancer at St. Bernadette, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
I can't believe he said it. Oh my God, this is a Friday night dream come true. I got to tell everybody tomorrow that I was Danny and I got to dance.
Yeah.
They're like, what did you do downstairs? No, I
So
didn't.
sorry,
I
Sandy.
swear.
Sandy's just moved out of the way. But it is exceedingly like she's a very good follow. When you pull all those things out, she knows exactly how to follow to make you look really impressive, right? Like, and she looks impressive, and it is just, there's a moment when you're both like chest to chest, so close, and she whispers something in your ear.
Your
that
heart's
nobody else
beat
can
is
hear.
one.
Oh yeah, she whispers something in your ear that nobody else can hear, but she says something to you, and.
Well, don't tell anybody
She's-
else. Just DM them.
I won't.
Just me. Just me.
I won't. I will DM it to you. I will DM it to you. But she says
Tell anyone
something.
else.
But I'm going to say
Fuck,
this.
these people they're not super hearing. They can't hear this.
Everybody sees. She does not hide that she's whispering something in your ear. But what it is, nobody else hears.
I am about to
Except for
whisper in his ear.
Let me.
Here I go. Yeah. Everyone look over here.
Yeah. And I will
I'm
note because the
whispering
princess
in his ear.
is not married or betrothed, everybody's looking, right? And whenever the princess is involved with anybody, everybody's paying attention.
Yeah, the
Everybody.
Drinaxian bandstand has been focused on them this whole time.
And space take it up. Oh yeah. So, and it's
That's right.
it's and the whole thing, and it is really impressive to see somebody who this is what they do, right? And
The Drinaxians are waiting for the flourish. Come
Yeah.
on. What is this dance?
This is a society based on dance. I mean, this
It
is like
is.
being in
Yeah.
front of like those real prick judges on Dancing with the
Yeah.
Stars.
oh my gosh.
They're nailing it.
Yeah.
Tens across the board.
These lines.
And I will tell you, there's something
Nailing
interesting
it.
about that. There's something there's all of that, right? All of that is happening. But as you're doing this and you're holding each other's arms, then you split apart, you come back together, there's all of this, all these very intricate patterns, right? There is something very gentle. Like there's a lot of like rigid, really good form, right? But there's something very gentle about the way that she holds your hand. That when your hands touch, there's something kind and friendly about it, right? That's not necessarily what it looks like on the outside. The outside is very showy and very, very, it's all very like True Lies, Grease. It's like a very sort of like intense situation, in case anybody might have feelings about that. But there is something very kind and warm and friendly, not romantic, but
No, I get you. He reciprocates that then.
yeah.
If he feels that, then he absolutely reciprocates that the same mood, the same theme.
Yeah. And like there's like that moment where like she just squeezes your hand a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like there's this, like nobody else can see it, but there's like a little moment in one of these sort of like intricate things, right? And there's like
Well,
fabric
then, like,
flowing every which way.
Right. At some point when he knows that they're shielded a bit, like your
Yeah,
hairs or
yeah.
whatever, he
Yeah,
would,
yeah.
as she's coming off of one of those things, he'd be
Yeah.
like, that was fucking awesome. When he
Yeah.
feels that there is at least a
Yeah.
less,
Yeah.
like a not as
Yeah.
rigid a quality
Yeah.
as like, print, that
Yeah.
he would literally say that was
Yeah.
fucking awesome when she does something. So
And there is this look of joy and excitement in her eyes. Like she's having fun, is what I'm going to say about this one. Is she is having fun, and probably for the first time
All
in
I
a while,
wanted.
she's having fun.
Right.
I'm going to
It's
note this
amazing
one.
what 10 hours of sleep does.
I am ready to go, man.
10 out of 10.
I will text you that thing in the ear. So Terrica, the merchant from Torpol, there is trouble on Torpol and Clarke. And you remember the princess wanted you all to go check it out, but as you're kind of like snooping, you hear that there has been a pirate attack on both Torpol and Clarke. On the planet itself, which is not normal, actually. Pirates don't tend to attack planetside. Do you know what I mean? Like they attack ships. but a pirate raiding party attacked Clarke first and then jumped to Torpol and then also attacked Torpol. And this is the Clarke, they don't tend to, they're very insular. They've got a weird religion going on there. They've like this weird, they're called the psychopomps. They're like weird high technology techno priests with a lot of really good technology for regeneration and things like that. A little bit weird.
I love them.
But
That's so cool.
Psychopomps is an awesome word.
Yeah.
And Torpol are like big merchant princes. They're like a big trading center. And the thing is, they jumped out from Torpol and no one's seen them since. And he's sort of like talking about how there's like a price on their heads. There's like a bounty. He's very, very upset. And he is upset that nothing's happened from Drinax yet, because he feels like no one else is, like the Imperium's not doing anything. The Azan aren't doing anything. Like he's very distressed. And you get the sense that this is not normal. Pirates don't do this unless they're looking for something specific, right? This is not like, oh, opportunism. You get the sense that, and I don't know if he gets the sense, but you get the sense that those pirates probably were looking for something specific. But what is another question? You hear numbers, though. His planet, Torpol, is putting out a bounty of 2 million credits for the pirates dead or alive, as long as you can prove it's them that attacked them. And Clarke, which doesn't have the same amount of money, has like 500,000 credits. So there are these very large bounties being put out for these pirates. And it was something. What was it? What did they want? It's a good question. But all you know is that they went from Clarke to Torpol and then back out. That's what you know about that. And he seems to demand, he's a little drunk, and he's not talking to the royal family because they're doing other things right now. But he wants something done about it. He wants to know where those pirates went. He wants those pirates taken care of. And he's agitated that it hasn't happened. And he feels like, and you can tell that he's speaking as a merchant. It's like one of the main merchant folks. He's speaking for a lot of that planet. And there's a real sort of frustration that neither of these two big major powers are doing anything about it. And he's a little bit frustrated that Drinax hasn't either. And he's mad. You get the sense that there's a lot of anger, that this is a kind of a bit of an opportunity, but also who's going to do something about this? But I don't know what it was that the Raiders wanted, and that's not being indicated, but you do get the sense that they probably want something more specific than just shipping.
Can Terrica, because their goal with that conversation would really be to like reassure him, right, that like Drinax is on top of this, of course, without tipping off the Imperium.
Because by the way, the Imperial ambassador is wandering around all over the place, just checking out what's going on, what everybody's saying, all the time.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
But they really want to like help this guy feel heard and feel like Drinax is going to take action. And they want to get as many details about this from him as they can. And then they want to also kind of, so that's what they're really trying to do, is really just like, hey, no, Drinax has got your back. Like we know it's taken a little bit of time. There have been some things that came up, but you know, we've got your back. It's going to be all right.
you know that you're probably gonna have to go there to investigate what happened, right? Like,
Mhm.
because he wasn't there because he was trading, but you're probably gonna have to go there and find out what happened to get more information, like what kind of ship they had or that kind of stuff. But whatever it is, this is really agitating these two planets in a way that seems like an opportunity. And you rolled very well with Diplomat. So he is calmed. Right? Like, I mean, he will wait longer, but you can tell that he's upset.
Mhm.
And Severance. A couple of
Yes?
things. Yes. There are some things that you know. You know that pirates, almost all of the pirates that operate in this area, most of them at least, either based out of or regularly visit the pirate world Thief.
Thief. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You also
There's no honor among thieves.
no, but you yourself have never been to Thief. And one of the reasons why you've never been there is because
I'm not a
anybody
pirate.
who
Ha ha!
lands,
Ha ha ha!
sure, no, but because anybody who does not have the permission from the lords of Black Sand City to land on that planet end up dead.
Perfect.
You need a pirate's code to be able to land on that planet successfully.
Or a list of names that we acquired from the Queen of Pirates.
No, that's a list
Damn
of
it.
contacts, but you need a pirate code. You also, you know that it's a long route. You have to go through the Imperium all the way around.
Yeah, it's
but
gross.
you know that pirates get in and out of that faster. Maybe they have super high jump ships or something, but you know there
But they
must be
have to,
some way to
yeah.
get. They have to because
Yeah.
they're coming into that much, much faster, right? Much, much faster. Also, pirates don't raid planets like that.
Planetside, yeah.
I mean, like, you could, but nobody does that unless they're trying to make a name for themselves, in which case they'd probably be much louder, right?
Right.
Or
We're trying to be loud, yeah.
right? Or they want something. So you know that if you want to land on Thief, you're going to need a pirate's code. So you're going to maybe, I don't know, those pirates probably have one. If you can find them, you might be able to steal it from them. You know.
I feel like I know exactly what our next quest is. I feel like
Ah,
I know where we're going to be going.
But I will also say this. You try to find out information about Daikanier. And
yes.
Yes. What I will tell you is nobody knows her.
Hate that.
She showed up on a ship with that one Aslan over there. And they do not interact with each other at all in a way that makes you a little suspicious.
Do I gather this information from multiple sources, or is there one person who knows?
Multiple sources and also observation.
Okay.
You watch how they do not talk to each other in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense. Right? Like, because you're in a ballroom together, right? So everybody's mingling, and they just very carefully, after that first moment when they were talking and looking at you a little bit, don't talk to each other again. And this guy is Philo, and he has a scout ship. He was one of one of the few ships. There are like 3 ships on the other side that were here. So he was here for trading.
Right.
But they don't seem to have a lot of trade. They have some trade. And she was just here, a passenger on that ship here on shore leave. Except that, here's the thing about that. I'm going to just tell you this because you did very well with your streetwise. She seems like a fighter to you.
Right, you said that.
Yeah, and the thing is, first off, no weapons, no armor on Drinax if you, like, nobles are allowed to. Very high law level here. But people from Marduk don't they tend to like fear outsiders and don't tend to leave the planet, and they don't have a lot of technological expertise. And you can tell that she is very technologically savvy. You can tell that she's always scanning this section to see targets. And there's a moment you catch where behind her, somebody knocks something over that's going to hit her, but it's behind her so she can't see it. And she just steps out of the way. Mm-hmm. She steps out of the way without even knowing it's coming. And Philo seems off to you as in terms of like an Aslan. Most Aslan are not very good with technology. Aslan men are not good with technology. They're not particularly good with money. Right. And he does not seem that way. He seems like he, and also they tend to be a little bit standoffish towards non-Aslan, but he is quite charming in a way that Aslan men generally tend to not to be. And he's also working the room in a way that seems a little bit off to you. And they are always on opposite ends of the sort of the banquet room. And she always keeps you within visual distance. Always. Just watching. And you have been around the block. You made a very good, you are her mark. You don't know what she is.
Yeah.
That said, she does think you're hot though. Like you get the sense that she does think you're hot, but that's probably not, that's not fake. But you kind of get the sense that she probably thinks a lot of people are hot, and is, you know, not a bad job for her. And then he says something in passing, like he's just passing by, and he just says a word. You know how if you were ever in the military, sometimes you can tell somebody else was in the military just because they happen to say one word, right? They say 5 by 5, or they just say some little lingo.
Yeah.
And he says something, and you're like, oh, that is pirate lingo, is what that is.
He said yar.
You know.
Said ahoy. Okay.
It's a little piratey, Yeah. He just kind of said it, and you're not quite sure he was saying it too, but like he just kind of said this thing, and you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
That's
yeah. Could I? So what's going through my mind is that like, why would someone? This is probably just maybe it's me overthinking, but also maybe it's just how Severance would think. Why would somebody open up a conversation or an evening with such a blatant, obvious first impression, and then for the rest of the evening be super weird, right? Like if like stalking around and then also barely talking to this other person, unless they're trying to get a reaction psionically from Severance. So what I'm going to try to do, but I don't know how to sort of do this. So I don't know what I would roll here, but
I do.
I want to go, like, as soon as I start to notice things are getting weird between them, I want to stop thinking about it, right? But like, how do you do that? So it's like, I don't know what I would roll to go, I should probably just relax and then relax it. But so I like, I don't know if there is, or does he just stay in this like, oh, there's something happening here. Like there is a distinct moment of him recognizing the game that's happening, and then doesn't want them to know that he's thinking about the game that's happening. He wants to give them no information by just ignoring them. but doing it
can I get
naturally, and that's like,
your
hard for me.
telepathy roll?
You got it.
Just this is like a sense. This is
Psionics.
just like a
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, I also have awareness. Is that a no? No, I
Yes.
don't. Actually, I don't have
Yep.
telepathy either. They're both pretty shitty.
What do you have?
Okay. They're both -3s.
You're not trained in it. What are you trained in?
No. Telekinesis. And I have 0 in clairvoyance, and teleportation I have 1.
Clairvoyance is probably the way to go here in this
Closest, yeah.
case. Could you roll that for me?
Would you like it with psionic strength or social?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Psionic
or
strength.
intellect. Okay. Yeah. Where is my roll 20? Nope. There it is. I am pressing the button now. 8.
Good. Spend 1. This is
1 power? Yeah. I was like, what?
this is basically tactical awareness, right? It allows you to kind of like just you let your mind float out. The thing is, when you kind of like just stop thinking, you start feeling minds. You can't read the thoughts. That's not what you're doing.
Right.
But you're just getting the sense of minds, and there's the king. Oh, there's the okay, and then you might glance over at Val or Terrica or Quint, and you cannot sense their minds. Their minds are like an absence.
Right. NPCs.
Nope.
They're robots.
Nope.
They're not real.
You also cannot sense the mind of the princess. And you cannot sense the mind of Daikanier. Because people with psionic abilities have psionic shielding.
Right.
Which means
Right.
they don't show up when you go to sense them.
Yeah.
And so if you are trying to like not think, right, and you kind of just put your mind out, she is psionic.
It's more like Muggle sense.
Yes, yeah. And you know she's psionic because you can't see her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't sense her. You can sense all this life in this ballroom, but you cannot sense her or your crew.
Right.
Or the princess. And the prince, you cannot read his mind, but he has got this, but you can tell it's because of this, he's got this headband on that you can tell that there's a blocking coming from that headband itself. Like, you're like, oh, right. It's not like there's something technological about what he's doing that means that you cannot sense him. Yeah. That's it.
So they'd know that I'm psionic.
If they reach their mind out, if they've done that.
So
If they
I
do-
wouldn't, but that also reassures me, if I was to do that, that reassures me that I don't have to actually, because I'm already psionically guarded as it is.
That is correct.
Right?
That is correct.
So I could just still panic and think what I want to without them feeling it. Right? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So that is a very backwards way of still succeeding forward. All right. Failing forward.
If she tries to read your mind, it will not be as easy for her to do so.
Right.
Basically,
She would have
right?
to she would have to knock on the door and I'd have to answer it. Right.
Yes. Yes. When normally you can just go in there, right?
Yeah.
So this is this dinner that's kind of big, and there's a lot of stuff happening. But at the very end of the dinner, when everybody is beginning to leave, the palace guard usher all of you on the gambler crew and the professor and the royal family itself into a outside of the, like, basically everyone's being seen, everybody's making impressions, everybody wants to know things about what's going on. But all of you are ushered off into a private room after the evening ends. And the professor is so excited.
Oh, good, I've needed to use the restroom. Oh, why are you here? What is this?
And when you walk into this room, the princess presses a button and there's this like, and she smiles. She goes, anti-bugging technology. She smiles. with just a little bit of a grin. And the scholar goes, oh, by the way, Scholar Voha is also here, the scholar of the tower. And the scholar sort of steps forward and goes, yes, please, what do you have? And the professor goes, well, I have this treasure globe. I think it will tell us exactly
There
where
he
there's
is.
a treasure. And by the way, the Imperial Ambassador is also here because the professor's Imperial, and so the ambassador wants to be here. So you have the ambassador, the professor, Scholar Voha, the royal family, and you all here. And the professor goes, so I have this, by the way, you have another globe. I don't know if you've not told anybody, but you have another globe.
We haven't told anybody yet.
Nope.
I don't even think
Nope.
we've told Rao yet. So
Nope.
Well, she would know.
Oh well, she knows because she read your mind.
But she also knows why we haven't told anybody. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
yeah.
And they wait to see what's happening. And the scholar and the professor goes, well, I found this. It's a treasure globe. It's a message globe from the old Sindarian Empire, from right before, I think. But as you see, these were, my understanding is these were sent off, according to legend, to the four great dukes of Sindal. And in order to open them without them being destroyed, you would need a ducal code. But, well, all the dukes are gone, except for you, your royal highness. Your family were once dukes in Sindal, and now, so it means you must still have, the code, since Drinax was the ducal seat of the southern part of the old Sindalian Empire. So I was wondering if perhaps you might have the ducal secret ducal code, so we could open.
What's
the
your password?
treasure.
So I can open
Basically, right? He's like, if you could have the password.
Uh-huh.
And everybody looks to the king, and the king looks to the scholar.
Terrica looks at Rao.
And Rao looks at Val.
I look at Rocky.
Looks at Severance.
I'm looking
I
at
look
the
at
ceiling.
I look at Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott!
Dr.
Damn it.
Scott.
And the scholar steps forward, and out of their robes, they pull another one of these globes. One that looks exactly like the other one. And the scholar says, we also received one of these globes quite some time ago. And we opened it with the ducal code. But all there was inside was a string of numbers and letters. They might be a code, but none of us in the Scholar's Tower were able to decrypt it. In all of these years, we could not break it. However, it is perhaps necessary to have all four globes. Perhaps the reason why we could not break this code is because we only had 1/4 of the message. And the scholar steps over to like a computer terminal and sort of starts typing in and says, Your Majesty, would you enter the ducal code? And the king comes in and sort of puts a few codes in, and the computer comes to life, and you see old Sindalian sort of like coming up. And he puts in these, you don't know what they are, but he puts in these codes.
I look over his shoulder.
Old codes. And as he types it in, the sphere that the professor is holding opens up. And you look inside. And there is a message inside. And the message is, contents of Imperial Vault transferred to Admiral Rapenhausen's flagship. Admiral Rapenhausen ordered to set course, spinward, along Maine to refuge. Imperial family and retainers will follow if defensive lines at Salif fail. The key dispatched to the Dukes of Albe, Drinax, Depre, and Yggdrasil. Signed by his hand, Felix Stardragon, Emperor of Sindal. And then there is a string of letters and numbers. Similar, but not identical, to the ones that were in the Drinaxian globe, followed by one word. ACE. A-C-E. And the professor says, oh, look, there's the coordinates at the bottom of this message. Oh, you see, I know this. This is actually old Sindalian. This is a time, date, and location and verification stamp. Oh, this says that this is a genuine message, is what this says. Oh, this only sent a few weeks before the fall of Sindal. Oh, this looks like this was sent from Noricum, the old Imperial throne world. And he sort of pulls up his computers. But this is not the location of the Imperial Palace. So this was, I don't know this location. I know the location of the Imperial Palace. I've studied it, but this was not sent from the Imperial Palace. Oh, this must have been sent from an undiscovered secret base. Oh. The Imperial family never, they never followed the Admiral Rapenhausen, the old Admiral Terrica Rapenhausen, to whatever this refuge was. I don't know where it was. Well, because they all died. The royal family, the rebels, broke through too quickly. Oh, quicker than expected. Oh. No known globes reached Deprea Yggdrasil, and I thought there would have been one on number 1, but I never found it. There was a big battle of Mag's Moon. I have some ideas of where these... Well, I thought one might have been at number 1. We should probably go back there. And I have an idea of where the 4th one might be. The Thebes system. There was a huge battle there. The Battle of Mag's Moon. There's a whole wreckage of so many ships. I bet one of the globes is there at Mag's Moon, and maybe one is over in number 1. And if we could find all 4 of these globes, we could put them together and find out where this refuge was, and then we could find, well, perhaps the entire contents of the Imperial Vault, all of the treasures of Sindal. We could find it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. Could you imagine? And there's some sort of discussion, and the princess looks at the crew, knowing that you have another globe, but have not said anything. But you know that she knows that you have it. And
There's 4 and we have 2 right now.
3,
yes.
right?
Well, 3. You're only missing
We
1.
have all except
2
for
have
the...
been opened. We are keeping the 3rd one on the ship close to our chest because we didn't want the professor to find out about it. But the 4th one might be on Mag's Moon in the Thebes system.
In the Thebes system. And there's this sort of and the emperor says, well, the ambassador says, well, I think this would be a lovely sort of a thing for the Imperium to do, and the king goes, well, if there's some sort of Sindalian treasure, as the inheritor of the Sindalian Empire, we would of course take percentage of this. This belongs to Drinax, I would imagine, although we would, I'm certain, if there's anything very prestigious, allow that to be lent to the Imperium for your museums. But the gamblers will, of course, be the main investigators of this. And he just sort of looks at, there's clearly...
But not the only investigators. We will be the lead investigators, right? It's a race. It's a race to see who can get. They don't.
It's a race, but they don't know we have the last piece.
Yeah,
Correct.
They're going to go to number 1, and they're going to go down to that ship, and they're going to go, oh no! And we're going to be like, so we just need to get the other one first.
We got to play this, so it's like we're disappointed we can't go to number 1, and we'll just go ahead and go to Mag's Moon, right?
Basically, yeah.
And then when we steal this shit, we're going to tell them it was empty, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
obviously.
Okay, good.
I
the right thing.
Well, okay, first off, who do you think we are?
Yep.
I got really scared. I guess I'm just a worrier. I don't know.
And the ambassador says, well, we would need, of course, the ducal code so that we could open up these globes, when we find the other ones. And the king goes, I'm so sorry. I'm not able to give the ducal codes to anyone, and I'm sworn. If you bring the globes here, we can open them. And there's like some grumblings, and people sort of leave.
If
And-
only you had the ducal codes. But
Oh,
you
no.
He
didn't
is,
do
and he is psionic, right?
Oh.
Just so y'all know.
And,
who, the king?
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
that we've
he's not.
tested that.
Not the king.
What?
The
The princess
He's
is.
not. The
Why?
princess is. That's a good
Because
question.
he's
Yes, it is.
not.
Right. But why does he have the ducal codes? And he's like, I can't give these to anybody. And it's like,
Well, because he has the birthright.
no, but he should be trained. Someone train him.
All we need to do is
You
be
have
like,
to have
boy, oh boy.
ability to train.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Why don't we tell the king this? We can tell the king, oh, I tell you what, you think of those ducal codes. You think of them, you capture them in your
Yeah,
mind.
right,
And
exactly.
you keep them tight.
And then
Don't
we
let
all think
anybody-
about it.
But like but we
Don't open
can
your
also probably get them from Rao, you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
we got ways.
That's fair.
And
Yeah, we do.
And the ambassador says, "Well, I'm going to make an Imperial scout ship available to the professor so that he may go his way. He will be going, I think, straight to Noricum to these coordinates to find out what might be there. Who
Oh,
knows what
no,
sort of treasures
darn.
will
Wait,
be
no,
there?
was that the one, Noricum or number one? Which one are we feigning we want to go to?
Noricum is the
Noricum is the
old-
capital. Yeah, the old capital.
Where-
To see if there was a
Yep.
secret workshop where maybe these were sent from.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're going to Mag's Moon? Where's that?
Thebes.
Thebes.
On the Thebes. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
And
All right, cool.
the ambassador says, well, if we get these things first, well, then, of course, the Empire will take it. And the king says, well, I'm sure there's nothing to be found. If you'll excuse me, he says, and he has the guards move the professor and the ambassador out.
Are we just in Thebes?
Yes, you were.
Perfect.
And the king
Perfect. Love
says
that.
to you, the king looks and says, the princess tells me that you have the third globe. We can open that and see what's there.
He
I
says this
will
in
give
front of the
you-
Imperial guy?
No, after they
Oh,
all
okay.
left. Because they
Okay.
ushered them out.
Just wanted to make sure. I want to make sure it wasn't just pushing him out of the way and then
Oh.
saying it to us.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I will give you a temporary copy of the ducal code so that you might open up what you need. Don't let it will self-destruct in 12 weeks, or if tampered with. It will allow
It's
you
a
to open up
guest
what you have.
password.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
The password is admin.
Admin
should-
1.
you
You have
should
to have a
change the
number in
One
there.
exclamation point.
Right.
Ooh, yes. So safe.
Haha.
You will. I would say, if you could, I don't know if I like him getting to Noricum before you. I will see what I can do to keep them here and entertained for some time.
Talk about grain prices. For the professor, at least. He's very into
Unfortunately,
any grain
yes.
prices documentation you might have. Or
I
anything
would
related to ancients and all. If you want to go with the
suggest
professor.
you get all 4 of these globes and find this treasure before he does. Secure this for Drinax, but don't arouse Imperial suspicion while you do so. Now, if Haut Belzoni wishes to be in your company, convince him this belongs to us, or, well, whatever. Perhaps, I'm sure you will come up with an idea. But the Third Imperium is not getting whatever it is that lies at this refuge. I'm sure you understand.
Crystal clear,
Yes.
Your Majesty.
And you can tell that it was the princess who told him to give you the codes. You can just tell. And he
That
says,
tracks.
if you'll excuse me. And he walks towards the door and he goes, I think this whole treasure thing is a farce. There's no treasure there. There's nothing to be found, he says as he walks out with the door opening. And you can see the ambassador and the professor
Nailed
hearing
it.
the
Nailed
king
it, Majesty.
certain that this is, after so many millennia, there's nothing there to be found. And with that, we will end the session. With
Really sold it.
Grumbling. Our warp reactor is gone, but I'm sure he will give us love as he exits the space. But sort of it ends with the king sort of scoffing that there actually is, after all these years, anything to be found. It'll be like the old Soleimani pharaoh, King Al Capone. There was a whole thing about trying to open up King Al Capone's tomb, and there was nothing there.
That was it.
Yes.
Yeah, King Al Capone. Yeah, totally legit.
Yeah, the pharaoh Al Capone. And it seems as if it seems pretty clear that the king is not really going to spend a lot of resources, at least clear to the ambassador. And you can see them walk off, and he's like, I will have the gambler look into this, but they have other business to do. There's something going on in Torpol and Clarke. Whenever they have time, they might go to look, but I don't think it'll be very fast. You probably want your archaeologist to go on his own with whatever ship you have. When we have time. And he sort of ushers them off as we end the session. In this moment, it is the princess who says to end it. You all will need to go to Noricum to investigate this secret base. Probably retrace the steps of your ancestor, the great Admiral Terrica, to find out where this secret refuge is, where she brought the contents of the Imperial Vault. You may want to speak with the professor about what he knows about Admiral Terrica, but I don't know what this treasure is of old Sindal, but it would be good to know it. We'll keep the professor here as long as possible. That said, you do have multiple things on your plate, including tomorrow, the funerals.
Your Highness, I propose we pause at Torpol at least for the week to investigate.
Of course. Yes, I trust you all will make the right choices. You have to go this way anyway. Investigate as you will, but we will see if we can slow down the professor so that he does not get to Noricum before you. Well.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
That will be our session. You all have a couple of things. You have perhaps a race to find the treasure of old Sindal. Although you do have 3 of the 4 globes, but not everybody knows that. And there is one perhaps waiting around in the wreckage. Because if you remember when you came to wreckage,
we could take our time.
We saw the wreckage, right? When we went through, yeah, we did. Because it was out there, and it was like, hey, do you want to go look at the wreckage? And we were like, why would we want to look at wreckage? We're good, thanks.
It's a huge it's like a graveyard, a ship graveyard.
Okay.
It's a ship graveyard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And also salvage.
Yeah, why wouldn't we want to look for salvage in a ship
Let's
graveyard?
go salvage.
I thought that was Terrica's ship.
No, Terrica's ship was out.
The one that
was closer on the other side.
To
Of, it was closer to Aces. Yeah.
Got it. I was like, cool. This is cool. Anyway,
there is a secret base on Noricum, and you do have the coordinates of it. But as does the professor, who does want to go there and find out what's ever happening on this secret base. But your allies are going to try to distract him with grain prices, apparently, is what Quint says.
Yeah.
He's really into great prices, trade routes. Quinn would give a list, an itemized list of about how long this keeps him occupied for.
It was actually a really
Excel
good
spreadsheet.
Yeah, and it was honestly a really great tool that Severance used because I think there was one time where Severance actually listened to him, and I
Yep.
was going to use so much of that information against Ruby if we ever had to advocate for him.
Oh,
Anyway,
you can, by the way. Or you can actually also help.
I don't
you can
need
actually
to now,
probably
though.
use that information to help Asim do better agriculture
right, exactly. Yeah.
without Ruby.
That would be
without
really
actually
good.
just
Yeah.
For so many
oppressing
reasons.
people. Without
Not just for
oppressing people, because
Drinax, but like,
yeah.
yeah.
Ruby got a lot of efficiency by oppressing people and harming them.
Big
But
into oppression.
you could probably actually use some of that knowledge from the professor to actually increase efficiency without oppressing people.
Yeah.
Yes. So, a couple of things to think about. The secret codes were sent to these 4 dukes right before the fall of the old Sindalan Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Each duke gets 1/4 of the whatever this final message is. And you don't know why or what, but whatever you know is that the Emperor of Old Sindal gave the contents of the Imperial Treasury to Terrica, ancestor, to Admiral Terrica, all of it. And Admiral Terrica left with it and took it to some secret refuge. And that message was sent from a secret base on Noricum before Noricum fell. And then the rebels got through and slaughtered the royal family. But something's happening there. And that said, there's also a piracy problem that is also happening at this moment.
I wonder if they're looking for the globes. It's so interesting. Anyway, let's see.
The piracy. This is the planetside pirates, right?
Yeah, the Torpol part.
Yeah.
And apparently there are pirates here who've shown up on Drinax for no reason and they were at the dinner and found Severance very interesting. Oh,
I don't like them.
Oh, I suppose I should say, when you're on your way out, just a little teaser. When you're on your way out, you do see Daikinir flirting with the professor, who seems awfully flattered.
He's super into it.
Well, of course he is, and of course
Yeah.
she's saying all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're also on the way out, did I ever get my reading, Trooper?
You didn't ask for one.
I rolled a deception intellect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
while
I
we're
thought you
walking
meant,
through. No.
I thought you meant a
I meant when you
divination
did
reading.
everybody but me earlier.
No, I thought you meant a divination
The
reading, and I was like,
party.
well, you're not going to do a divination reading. Thank you. Right, you were looking to see. Who were you looking at?
I was looking at. Oh, like you don't even remember.
Oh,
who.
I know exactly who you're looking
Wow.
at. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I remember.
Wow.
I remember. Yes, I remember.
Wow.
I have the answer for you. I just don't know if you really want it.
I mean, I don't, but Quint does. Just how's he doing? How's he holding up? How's he?
He's not doing well.
He's not doing well. Yeah. Okay.
No.
I did roll really good.
You did. There is a very, very low level attraction to Terrica, but 4%.
Oh no.
He is, however, it seems desperately in love with you and super hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. He is so in love with Quint. It is kind of insane. At this, it's not diminished from the time that you knew him. And that it's kind of like there's a passing attraction to Terrica, oh, Terrica's very attractive, right? But that is really not what's going on there at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will tell you this, because you rolled very well.
I did.
He might do something rash.
Oh no.
He's already doing this whole thing is a bit rash, and he seems to be perhaps not the most rational at the moment. Clearly, you don't know what he's going to do, but
Okay.
But it's gonna be rash.
It's gonna be rash.
Mhm.
like he might stow away on your ship, kind of rash. You know what I mean? You don't know what it is,
Oh
but
no.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
It would be great and terrible all at the same time.
It would.
Is this
It
the,
would.
is this
That's
the
what I'm here
fiance
for.
guy?
Yeah, the
Yes.
fiance
Yeah.
guy.
Drama, drama,
Hate
drama.
it. I love
Oh,
it.
no.
Hate it.
Yeah, so
'Cause
Quint
it's so awkward.
tried their best to keep their bodyguard mask
God,
up.
that'd be so great.
But
Oh
with
man.
glimpses of like, oh,
Severance would be
no.
such a little shit towards it too. Oh man, I would just
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, don't you want to sleep with that guy? Don't you want some privacy, you two?"
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, he's planning something, and it's going to be something rash and unwise and probably not great for his position as a duke. Just so you know.
No.
Perfect.
Well, thank you for that insight. And I get what he's
Oh, yeah.
trying to do. Like, he's trying to make me jealous right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
gather enough from that read if I play into it? Would that help? Would that help him feel better? If I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous.
No. Maybe.
I believe it.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe. Yes,
Yeah.
it would. I might. Maybe I'll
Yes.
play
Does
into
jealousy
it
ever really help? Okay. All right.
then. No, fake jealousy. Like pretend that I'm jealous
Yeah. I still have
to make him
questions
feel
about
better.
that.
So he's less rash.
It's not real jealousy. It's just manipulative jealousy.
It's just
Quint-
yeah.
Well,
That's
obviously-
totally good.
Like,
Yeah.
if Quint
That
didn't get
solves
it,
problems.
Quint would be like, well,
Yeah.
obviously Terrica's the better choice than me. Of course, if you're happier with Terrica, you should go for it. Why would I be jealous of this? I'm garbage. Like, so of course there's not any real
God.
jealousy.
But we've
You
got
only
to do
feel
our
jealous if you think you
outros.
deserved it.
We have to do our outros, but I'm going to tell you what.
Mhm.
He's planning on doing something rash. Because he's still madly in
boy.
love with Quint. In a way that is clearly...
He's having a hard time coping.
He's
I
having a
want to
very
egg
hard
this
time
on
coping.
so bad.
Very hard time coping, and that means that you think that there's going to be some, like, caution thrown to the wind and some unwise choices.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. That said,
I don't know
let's do
what
our
to do.
outro, shall we?
Outro! Sorry, only because Ari and I have to go soon.
Severance.
Hi.
Cord.
Yes.
Give us who you
all
are.
those names.
Give
Everyone.
where we can find you next and give some love. Because you'll have to go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's me, Cord, or Mythematic. You'll find me on Tuesday. I think it's at 2 p.m. I think is when the time is. We're premiering a new show on Table Story called Side Quest. So come check it out. It's honestly, it's going to be a sandbox game, and Brad is going to be playing it. And Brad usually does a lot of like campaign, not railroady, but he usually has a really like strong narrative that he usually plays through. But this time he's like, I don't really have anything planned. I have no idea what you're all going to do. So just enjoy. Here's this world that we're building together. Have fun. And I'm very excited because sandbox games like this one are tons of fun. So come check it out. I have a character, and I won't tell you about him. But I have shaved my face for him. So that's the only hint you're going to get. So yeah, come check it out. It's on Table Story on Tuesday. Anyway, I'm taking up all this time. Yeah, find me there or on my own channel whenever I stream again, or back here on Fridays. My love tonight goes to Lindy for keeping the smudging of the ship. That was awesome, hilarious. That the ship is still haunted. That entire scene was hilarious. Even with Greg coming through and just offering the hologram just to walk through was great. Greg and his wonderful Danny Zuko cha-cha dance with the princess was really great. The fact that Ari, you are so good at keeping up with all this court bullshit, because I'm like, there's so many names. I am so overwhelmed by all this information. So it's so good that you're like, oh yeah, and then this, right, and then I'm like, yes.
I will update this
I
slide.
feel like Terrica has to be.
It has to be.
Like,
I should be too, but I'm just
That's
like,
who Terrica's like. Yeah.
So it's very awesome to see you work with that, and it's very awesome to just see you all work in various ways to keep this story going and everything. I'm taking up way too much time. That's me.
Thank you. And Ari, who are you? Where can we find you next? And please give some love.
Hello, I'm Ari. Cord, you said you had to go. Go, man. Go.
No, you first.
Okay. I'm Ari _Ventures. You can find me live here in Seattle, Washington, performing at Unexpected Productions and here on Friday nights. I am in theater sports coming up. I am in a show called, oh shoot, I'm blanking on the name right now, but storytellers come out, they tell a piece, and then we do some improv based off of that. And so it's sort of like give and take, where the storytellers are telling you a true life story, and then we are creating heartfelt improvised scenes based off of that. And I have another show coming up called Prism that starts in April, and that one is all about looking at the same event from different perspectives. So lots of fun and interesting things coming up in the near future here. And for love, holy cow, so much of it tonight. Obviously, so much of it tonight. Trooper and Greg riffing off of each other for that dance. I'm sorry, I just got to shout out to it again because it was just so beautiful, like so much fun. And Quint, Lindy, Quint, I don't think Terrica needed them to be a bodyguard anymore, but it seemed what the read I was getting was that it was also partially a like, oh, this is something to do in this space that is
I'm not
weird.
knighted, I'm not noble, I have no reason to be here. The rest of the crew maybe isn't here from the Gambler, so bodyguard. Also, who knows when someone might lash out and stab or get rash.
It was delightful, just the fact that meant that then there's all of these interactions with Caspian, and like watching like Quint handle these moments of that was just
Did you guys
beautiful.
dance? I heard there was dancing.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if they would have. I feel like there would have been an obligatory dance, and Terrica would have been. I mean, I can roll for it. I feel like they would have been good at it. They've been dancing for their whole life.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were looking to do anything flashy or showy with it. They were just looking to go, see, and here we are dancing, as is expected. And for Cord, that saging moment, specifically the one where Severence was like, I feel like I should leave so that you guys can have a moment, and just the like, it's this balance with Cord of like somewhere between dad, somewhere between sibling that consistently happens. And he plays that so well. So my hat's off to him.
In which case, Laugh Love Lindy, you are next. Who are you? Where can we find you? And give some love.
Hi, my love, I'm gonna do love first so I don't forget anybody's moments. I loved Greg's tirade against Richondo of being like, I'm gonna open my own. It had the energy of like, I'm gonna make my own something with blackjack and hookers, but but with low prices, and he's gonna be the Walmart of Drinax. I'm here for it, I'm here for great value, Greg, and his new store on Drinax that he plans to fund via piracy. I loved the anti-Richondo spiel. It made me happy very deep inside.
Richondo is a dirty exploiter. I mean, that's what he is. Like
I loved how strongly Val felt about that. It was beautiful. I love to see it. My love for Terrica, just going through their parents' offices. I thought that was a really interesting, like talking to, someone who's known their family for a long time, and like the condolences, and just going through everything, be like, hey, could you check for bugs? I have so much paperwork to do. Like just doing the humdrum, but knowing that's what they need to do, and just buckling down and doing it. I loved seeing that aspect of Terrica, because Terrica has been not a noble for so long. I really enjoyed seeing Terrica actually just be a noble for a minute, though, and just get shit done, and get it done efficiently, and get it done well. So even though they hate it, I think they did pretty good at it, and I love to see that. And then of course I loved Cord fending off the seductress, just being like, without being like, absolutely not, no, just being like, well, like the most around, like quick beat around the bush kind of like declination of.
She's a bit more of a mercenary than a seductress, but
that's not how she was acting. So I just thought that was hilarious. I loved that, and now she's flirting with the professor, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's sus. And I can't wait to see what terrible things happen because of it. Who knows? Maybe the professor will get married, and that's why he's delayed, because he's married to a Mardukian now. Or Mardukin? I don't know. It sounds like a turducken. I don't know.
A turducken.
Mardukin. Anyways, you can find me online. Of course, my love goes to Trooper for forgetting me during the party.
No, it was just so
with my
juicy. I wanted to
insight
wait,
reading.
and then but I was like, oh no, you rolled really well. We have to tell you about the rash
Tell me
plans,
about
and then
things. Yeah, no, I see.
no, the rash
It's fine.
plans.
My love is giving Trooper shit for
Yeah, that's fair.
forgetting that. And you can find me online, shit all the time at laughlovelindy, Twitch,
Oh.
YouTube, Bluesky, Twitter, all of them. If I'm not on there, let me know so I can go claim it. I may not post, but I might have it reserved. And you can find me next. See, it's Sunday on Praxagorth Thesmophoria's channel for some Greyhawk fun. There's a dragon. We might die. I don't know. That's just throwing it out there. On Monday night, we will be back with our Aliens campaign, which is now bi-weekly. We had our first session back in almost 2 years, 23 months, 2 Mondays ago. So I'm very excited for this week. And of course, on Tuesday, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and Wednesday, Tracks of Terror. Our third episode, we unfortunately had to miss this past week. So I'm very excited to get back on track. With some Call of Cthulhu. And let me tell you what, there will be 20% more terror this next week because I had extra time to plan. So thank you.
And I am Trooper SJP, and I didn't show you. By the way, here is the mysterious ship shirt crew for a ship, the Stone Jackal Privateers, which is definitely not part of the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Fleet. You can certainly get that if you like. And if you're wearing this one, you might also want the lovely blue, which is the Drinaxian color for wealth and abundance. The blue ship's joggers with, the Stone Jackal on the leg. So that is an alternate bit of a uniform if you are so inclined to be a bit piratical. And I am Trooper SJP. I have been the GM for this shenanigans. I have been waiting for many seasons to get the revelation of the globe and the chase that is coming. There's a lot going on, and it's a sandbox. I don't know where they're going to go, but you've got a treasure over here, you've got some pirates over there, and I'm excited to find out where they'll go. And I think next week will be our funerals and our investitures, and then I think they'll be. I think they're going to leave the planet, if not next week, the week after. That's what I think. I think it's going to be some grand ceremonies, including some crying, because there's another funeral that needs to be planned for Quint, and I believe that will probably also happen. So I'm excited for it. And a
lot of funerals next week.
There's going to be a lot of funerals next week. There'll be a number of funerals next week, and then some investitures. And I imagine then you'll be off because you probably want to go before the professor can leave. So that'll be it. You can find. Oh, by the way, tomorrow I normally play a video game, Hitman, but I'm going to have to go to this symposium at work tomorrow. So I will not be able to stream tomorrow, I don't think, because I've got a symposium to do. I've got to show my face. And then you can find me next Thursday for Disco Elysium. You can find me next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on this channel for more of The Gamblers, and then Hitman. Thank you. I just want to give love to all of my players who are just rolling with the punches, and recognizing, because there was a massive amount of people. I was like 18,000 NPCs. What's going on? But everybody was there with it, and I appreciate everybody's kindness. I appreciate the sage. I appreciate how Lindy is able to actually give information to the other players in character, even if her player doesn't know the truth, but is able to still yet give the information they need to know, which is amazing. It's a great player skill. One of the things I love about Lindy is very skilled that way, and I love that about them. And Ari, I want to sort of, I want to sort of give love to Ari for the ways in which they're able to negotiate, like maneuver through some complicated love triangles, of which there were like more than one on display today, without giving anything away. And I want to give love to Cord for that amazing flirtation with Dai Kinnear, who is definitely not a pirate, and is definitely psionic and was, well, that's okay, because Dai can just go and rot through somebody else's mind, and may ought to be doing it right now. Somebody who, really doesn't have a lot of, anyway, the professor just, anyhow, probably doesn't even need psionics to get a lot of information from the professor. That's fine.
It's a good thing he doesn't know a whole lot from us.
No, but he does know things.
Other things, yeah. Which he's
Like-
probably already told us, mostly, in his ramblings.
Ooh, Entropy Emporium, thank you. Welcome in, Raiders. We're on our way out. And then I also want to give Greg love for, again, wanting to destroy Rachondo, because I'm going to tell you something. Somebody should take down Rachondo. Rachondo
Absolutely. He's
is
kind
a
of a dick.
vulture. He's terrible. But here's the thing. If you all are successful in your mission as the gamblers, then you will be able to put him out of business, right? If you're able to get Drinax back up and running, then they will not need to deal with that guy. So I wish you all the best of luck with that. And that is me. And I want to thank everybody who did gift giveaways in chat for the new merch, which is like Stone Jackal, right? Or the TMS Gambler, whichever one you like. And thank you. Thank you all for being here. Entropy Emporium, thank you, Raiders. We're on our way out. But since you rated us, I'm going to raid it forward by finding out who else is up so that we may raid. Let's see. Who's around? Who is around? What do we got here? We have got... Who could use a good raid? For whom would this raid be useful? You know what? Let's raid the Lollygaggers, shall we? They are currently doing the Magnus
I was
Archives.
going to suggest.
What? See?
I was just looking at that myself. Yeah.
So we're going to do that. Give them love. Don't forget our raid command. And thank you for being here. And I'm going to catch you all on the flip side, everybody. Thank you very much. You're the best. And see you next week. Bye.